The world has merged with the game. Reality's border has officially rage quit. Suddenly, new classes, relics, dungeons, and mysterious creatures popped up everywhere. Humans now hunt monsters, farm XP, and craft shiny survival gear. Yet above all beasts lurks a godlike, mysterious existence worshipped by many. Meanwhile, at Long-Go High School, a loud death slam froze the whole class. The teacher sternly declared today's job transfer ritual would decide everyone's fate. He urged confidence, while Lufan sat silently in deep thought at the corner. The fateful day arrived. 3 years of grind taught Lufan how this world truly worked. 3 main job systems ruled here: warriors, mages, and archers, the dungeon kings. Next came enhancers like alchemists, powerful crafters who burned through resources. Lastly were life jobs: chefs, mechanics, pharmacists quietly keeping society alive. Lufan spoke of On Ki, who ran a humble bun shop, fueling his will to fight. Just then, the teacher answered the phone respectfully. "Yes, principal." "Understood." He then shouted, "Job transfer ceremony begins," and the class burst with excitement. Spotting Lufan still there, he reassured him, "You're the top student, relax." Suddenly, a system panel flashed. Super Treasure Vault system activated, stunning Lufan. "Lufan, are you listening?" the teacher yelled, snapping him back. Lufan apologized and dashed off, thinking, a new world without a system? No way. Still, he reminded himself the ceremony mattered more right now. Outside, the crowd buzzed around the glowing job crystal as the principal called for order. Many dreamed of combat jobs, others joked that avoiding life jobs was victory enough. The principal pointed at a man in white robes, the priest officiating today's ritual. Gasps spread. Lufan stared at the priest, sensing fierce combat energy from him. The system chimed again. Appraisal eye skill activated. Leaving Lufan puzzled, he quickly opened his system panel to inspect the priest's stats. Turns out, the man was a level 29 priest with the job awakening right skill worth 5 million long coins. Lufan gaped. He could see people's info, murmuring, 5 million long coins, wow. The principal then urged silence, preparing to call the first student. Lufan, still daydreaming, thought a bun shop could never make that much. As the name Zhang Dao was called, students whispered, "It's top student Zhang Dao. Definitely a combat job." While girls cheered, Zhang Dao stepped up confidently before the glowing crystal and priest. He smiled faintly, eyes locked on the brilliant golden light. As the priest began the ritual, energy swirled into a dazzling orb of light. The crowd roared, "Mage, a fireball mage," all by Zhang Dao's flashy combat class. Cheers and jealous screams filled the air while Zhang Dao proudly caught the fireball. Watching that, Lufan yearned any combat job would lift him from mediocrity as the principal shouted. Next, one by one, students took turns. Some became alchemists, others miners. Many sighed in disappointment. Lufan observed combat jobs were rare. Most ended with dull life classes bound to routine. A few students comforted each other, saying stability wasn't so bad. Someone pointed at Li Bing from the next class, saying a poor kid couldn't afford an enhancer's expenses. Hearing that, Lufan shivered, fearing the same fate given his family's poverty. Suddenly, the principal called his name. Lufan startled, replying before stepping up amid whispers. Standing before the stone pillar, he told himself no point panicking now. He placed his hand on the crystal, closed his eyes, ready to accept destiny's choice. Suddenly, a giant eye appeared in his mind, dizzying him pale. "What the?" he gasped, hands trembling. Could it be a dragon tamer? The principal and students froze, eyes wide, baffled by what they'd just seen. The principal rushed forward in disbelief. Such a huge reaction, yet it's the weakest job. Dragon tamer. Soon after, Lufan quietly left the school, walking the empty Jiang High streets post ceremony. At home, he opened his system job. Dragon tamer. LV10. Skill dragon breed taming. Value 239. He recalled his classmates' mocking looks. Humans could never truly tame dragons. Students gossip dragon tamers are useless without dragons, at least summoners of monsters. Just then, he opened the door softly. Auntie, I'm home. In the kitchen, Henki, the diligent cook, was busy steaming buns. Seeing him, she rushed over joyfully. "My dear Xiaofan's home." She seated him warmly, eyes bright. "Big day today. What's your job?" Lufan lowered his head silently. She understood and gently comforted. "It's okay. Not being a fighter isn't bad," she added. "You fight monsters every day. I just want you safe." He trembled. "No, Auntie, I became a dragon tamer." He gave a bitter smile. "Without dragons, this job's basically nothing." She still smiled. "Nonsense, dragon tamer sounds powerful already. I believe in you." Hugging him, she said softly, "Study or stay home, either way. I'll manage. You can always help with buns." He tried to reply, but she cut him off. "Enough. Eat first," he muttered. "It's too much, I can't finish." After dinner, he lay in bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. He thought, Ani's only 26, carrying our whole life. Will I stay ordinary forever because of this weak job? He clenched his fist. Dragon Tamer was still a special class. One real dragon could change everything. Suddenly, ding, congrats, you've received a Divinerink treasure. Sent to storage. He shot up Divinerink already. The system replied, 1 treasure a day, first day's divine. He remembered its name, Super Treasure Vault. Opening the interface, he saw 4 treasure tiers: basic, mid, high, and divine, each rarer than the last. 3 maps of the same rank could merge into one higher level map. The system added, each day you'll get a random treasure map, go there, and you'll find loot fitting your class. Clenching his fist, he thought trash or dragon lord. This system could flip fate and crown him king. In short, this divining treasure was his last shot. Giving up meant living at rock bottom forever. He accepted the reward map revealed Stone Plains, level 1020 area near Shanghai. One night bus away. Next dawn, Lufan yawned awake on the bus as sunlight spilled through the window. At home, Aniki found a note and called out in panic, "Xiao Fan, where are you?" The letter read, "Don't worry, Auntie, I'm off to Stone Plains. This could change my dragon tamer fate. It'll be fine. Wait for me." Meanwhile, Lufan stood before the vast stony field, morning wind chilling his shoulders. Suddenly, a rough hand landed on his shoulder. He spun to see a 1-8 old man grinning. "Hey kid, travel together." He brushed the hand off calmly, glancing at the trio. "These guys look like material hunters." The girl sneered. "Think it through, kid," the old man added. "Night travel's deadly, might end up a corpse." "Haha," Lufan squinted. "Senses sharp robbers, classic wolves in human skin." The big man behind cracked his knuckles, stepping closer. "So, decided yet?" Lufan stepped back, gripping his pack and knife. "Crap, they're really after me." The brute growled. "You're coming with us." "Got it." Lufan shook his head firmly. "Nope, I said I don't need help." The old man's tone darkened. "You're green. Boy, you don't know how scary nights get here." As they passed, Lufan panted quietly, too weak to fight, then lied. "I'm a summoner, no escort needed." He imagined being chased by level 8 ironhorn steeds. One slip and he'd be paced. He steadied himself. Forget them. Take another route. Sneaking away, he moved silently through the eerie, freezing terrain. Then he spotted a level 7 stonehorn spirit gnawing rocks and nearly stepped on a tiny frog beneath him. "Ribbit!" He froze him, doomed. The sound turned the whole herd's glowing red eyes on him. They charged as he bolted. "Damn it. They saw me." Spotting a cliff, he lipped and clung tight, heart pounding like drums. When the herd thundered past, he slid down, eyes landing on the crushed frog, one leg still twitching. He opened the system map, thinking, if I keep missing chances, I'm no better than that crushed frog, weak and useless. Pointing at the glowing red dot, he muttered, "They're the treasures right here." Looking up, he saw a dimly glowing cave hollow exactly matching the treasure map's mark. Heart pounding, he dashed over, believing this treasure could change his dragon tamer fate. Up close, a dragon egg was cracking, faint light spilling out. It was hatching. The system chimed, "Unidentified black dragon egg detected." Suddenly, rustling echoed from outside. His instincts screamed danger. He drew his newbie knife. Weird. It's been quiet till now. The screen read, "Basic embedded blade, standard melee weapon of Long-Go Academy." Just then, a gray wolf lunged. He slashed, but it bit down on the blade. Snarling, bloodthirsty gray wolf. Trembling, he shoved hard, forcing the beast backward. He swung again. Blood sprayed as the wolf crashed aside. System bloodthirsty gray wolf, 10 skills, triple claw, blood drain, exp 120, lit wolf pelt, 80 long coins. Breathing hard, he realized 3 at combo that heals nasty. Turning to the egg, he gritted his teeth. "If I stall longer, I can use dragon taming art." He prayed once the baby dragon hatched, he might stand a chance. But before he could act, the wolf lunged again. Its claws tore his arm. Blood gushing, he snarled, "Can't let it heal, kill it mid-combo." He countered, but the wolf blocked. His blade cracked apart. The beast lunged close. He dodged, sweat running down his face. Now or never. With a shout, he raised the broken knife and drove it down into the wolf's neck. System bloodthirsty gray wolf slain. 120 XP. Panting, he wiped his sweat, a relieved grin forming. "Got it." Suddenly, laughter echoed behind him. "How? Actually killed it. Huh." He froze. It was the same 3. The old man smirked. "Impressive, kid." Lufan clenched his fist coldly. "You followed me." "I said no." The pink-haired girl purred. "Don't be so tense. Handsome, you got us wrong." The old man chuckled. "Right, summoner boy, why no summons?" Grinding his teeth, he snapped, "If you want the corpse, take it, but stop tailing me." He kicked the wolf's body toward them. The old man stepped up with a sly grin. "Hif, interesting brat." Tossing the pelt up, he mocked, 80 coins for this. How many swings did that take? What we want isn't that." His gaze flicked to the cliff behind Lufan. Eyes gleaming, Lufan realized they'd spotted the dragon egg. The 2 men lunged before he could react. A punch slammed him to the ground. The pink-haired girl pressed a knife to his throat, smiling. "Don't move, pretty boy, or that neck's gone." The old man snickered wickedly. "Hee hee, kid, you really underestimated us material hunters." The brute cheered, cradling the egg. "Hey, look what I found." Lufan's face drained. "No." The old man burst out laughing. "Haha, the treasure's ours, kill him." The pink-haired girl sneered. "Goodbye, pretty boy, we part ways here." The old man ran up gleefully, gasping, "Heavens, what a gorgeous egg." Lufan gritted his teeth, screaming inside, "That's my one chance to change fate. I can't let them take it." At that instant, The egg-shattered black light erupted and shot skyward. Everyone looked up. Horrified, a massive shadow spread its wings. Red eyes glowing. What is that? Lufan froze, heart stopping. No way, a dragon. Before he finished, the baby dragon dived like lightning, radiating terrifying pressure. The old man panicked, throwing a green orb that flashed desperately, but the dragon sidestepped and swooped toward the big man, the air itself crushing down. With a single wing beat, the brute exploded, body reduced to mist. The old man collapsed, a trembling at the sight of his teammate turned to gore. The dragon's red gaze locked onto him. He screamed, "Help! Help me!" Lufan stared, a newborn this strong. No wonder no one dares tame dragons. The pink-haired girl shrieked, "A dragon? It's real. You said that egg was a dragon's." The baby dragon tilted its head, eyes blinking innocently yet full of dominance. Taking the chance, Lufan shoved her aside and charged forward. "Try stealing my dragon. That's your fate." He raised his hand, channeling dragon taming art, shouting, "Who are you? Obey me." Laughing madly, he yelled, "Ha! You want to know who I am?" His voice thundered through the cave. "I'm not a summoner, I'm a dragon tamer. System contract with Black Dragon complete. Skills unlocked: Dragon Claw, Dragon Fang Strike, Dragon's Rally." The pink-haired girl backed away, terrified. "Please, I didn't know it was a dragon egg." Lufan's eyes turned icy. "You hunters have killed countless innocents, now face judgment." He pointed, "Go! Make them join their comrades." The dragon roared and charged. Seconds later, only corpses remained. Lufan stood panting, sweat streaming down his face. "It's over, can't believe it." He chuckled weakly. "Hey, you little rascal. Absurdly strong for your size." Looking at the hatchling, emotion swelled. "I've crossed from weakest to strongest. When this dragon grows," cradling it gently, he murmured, "from now on, Dragon Tamer isn't weak anymore. What should I name you? A Jin? No Xiaolong? Wait, what are you doing?" Suddenly, the baby dragon flared with crimson light, morphing into a tiny girl, a miniature dragon maiden. Lufan gawked. "What the hell?" He stared at the floating girl in shock. "You can take human form." The little girl smiled and nodded rapidly, her small wings fluttering. Lufan opened his system panel. Dragon Tamer of 10. Strength 55, Agility 53, Spirit 60, Stamina 60, Skills: Dragon Taming, Dragon Claw, Dragon Fang Strike, Dragon's Rally. Contract: Legendary Black Dragon Level 1, Value 239. He grinned. "Just as I thought, tame a dragon. Unlock everything. My fate's truly changed." Dragon's Rally boosted all stats and attack by 30. Dragon Fang Strike dealt massive damage. Dragon Claw turned his hands into dragon talons, pure power of the dragon race. Even as a newborn, the black hatchling stats exceeded humans by 56 times, able to crush any equal tier class. Lufan opened Xiaolong V stats: Black Dragon Contract, Level 1 Str 342, AG 267, Spy 359, Vit 373, Skills: Frenzy Jaw, Assault, Rush, Bleed, Magma, Inferno, Fire Breath Region, Black Dragon Bloodline 50 damage, Immune to debuffs, 500 recovery, contract bonus 10 all stats to Dragon Tamer. Reading that, he froze at level 1, nearly 400 stats stronger than level 20 elites. The shared bloodline boosted him too. His body felt weightless, overflowing with power. He laughed loudly. The strongest hidden class, before the dragon race. All others bow. No doubt Dragon Tamer's true apex. Glancing at Xiaolong Nivi nibbling while curiously peeking around, he smiled. "Even in human form, you're still the same nosy hatchling." He mused. "A name? Huh. Born before dawn, Xiao Yi Little Knight. Sounds perfect." She squealed happily, sparkling eyes making him chuckle. "Guess you like it, huh?" Looking around, his heart lightened. Today's treasure hunt was risky but worth it. He patted her head. "Hungry, right?" Hands on hips, he declared. "Let's hunt some forest beasts for Xiai. I still need to level up. College entrance trials are coming." Tightening his pack straps, he grinned. "My classmates must be grinding too. The South Province Scholar Prize and entry to Long Go's top academy. I'll win them both." "Xiao Yi, let's go deeper into East Ice Stone Ridge. Rumor says beasts there outvalue dragon eggs." Before them stretched a barren wasteland, cold winds howling through scattered rocks. Suddenly, the ground trembled, rumbling grew louder. Both turned to see a charging horde of giant hyenas. Lufan gasped. "Plains hyenas, deadlier than bloodthirsty wolves." System LV12, Skills: Corrosive Spit, Decay Bite inflicts bleeding and disease, X 380, Load Hyena Tooth, 95 long coins. He smirked. That was before. Now I'm no weakling. Dust clouded the air as he shielded his eyes, then saw Xiao Yi leap up, black wings blazing. "Battle ready." Lufan grinned. "Want to go wild? Fine, go." Xiao Yi. Together, they charged the hyena pack, turning Stone Spring Valley from chaos to calm. Xiao Yi soared high, inhaled deeply, then unleashed a fiery storm below. Molten flames poured down, burning, healing, and crushing. Wolves dropped like flies as exp flooded the system. Level up stacked fast. Lufan thought only of power stronger. Faster hunting elites next. Then he shouted, "Xiao Yi, forget the small fry, they're not worth it." As he turned, he caught 3 pairs of red eyes glowing inside a cave, the exp notifications still ticking. From the shadows, a massive paw stomped out, revealing a ferocious 3-headed lion. System alert: Trebled Lion, low V25 extreme offense and defense, enormous reward. Lufan frowned. normally takes a full team to face one of these, then dashed in with Xiaoyi without hesitation. The lion roared, activating both attack and defense buffs, its three heads merging into a triple Inferno Emperor strike with triple damage output. As it charged up power, Lufan's Dragon Fang Strike pierced straight through one lion's head. System skill Dragon Fang Strike activated, Dragon Key concentrated for a devastating blow. The ensuing explosion hurled the beast backward. It crashed down, eyes dulling before going still. Lufan and Xiao Long landed, exhaling together. Done. It's over. System spammed exp alerts, both leveled up fast. Lufan laughed. Elite hunts are so worth it. Then a new notice appeared. Treasure map activated. Data successfully transmitted. Lufan paused, wondering what new Dragon Tamer secret the map would reveal. Exchanging eager looks, he and Xiaoyi nodded. Let's go next treasure hunt. Meanwhile, deeper in the plains, three others were talking. A blue-haired man regretting missing a rare chance. Sunji, a dungeon warrior, sighed. We need 5 people minimum to enter, and we're short. Spy Tainai suggested returning to Jianghai for help, but it'd take a full day. Tan Shu, the female warrior, frowned. The dungeon lasts only 24 hours. We won't make it back. Seeing her disappointment, Sunji comforted. With your strength, once you enter the top academies, you have dungeons of your own. She smiled sadly. I know, still feels like a waste. Suddenly, a noise. Sunji barked an order. Everyone tensed. Tainai drew weapons, eyes scanning forward. From behind a rock, Lufan strolled out calmly. Just passing through, Sunji sneered. Kid, this isn't a treasure spot for rookies like you. Tan Shu quickly stopped him. She stepped forward kindly, hand extended, inviting Lufan to temporarily join, promising 100,000 long coins after the dungeon's completion. Lufan chuckled at the Tan families. This eager, the reward must be extraordinary. Tan Shu nodded. You just need to make up the numbers. No fighting required. Still 10,000 long coins? Sunji added persuasively. Opportunities like this don't come twice. Kid, Lufan replied softly. Money doesn't tempt me, but if we cooperate, I have my own rules. Tainai frowned. You mean dividing rewards by each person's performance? Exactly, Lufan said firmly. Tan Shu pondered, weighing his level and confidence, then extended her hand anyway. No time to hesitate, she said. Fine, well, do it your way. The initial pay stands as my word. Lufan shook her hand with a smile. Good, let's move out. Walking last, he decided not to summon Xiaoyi yet to keep his secret safe in this wasteland. The group entered the dungeon system's secret realm, fortune-bound Tang Village, level Rec 20. Min players 5. Inside, thick fog enveloped them. Tan Shu murmured, it's so deathly silent here. Tainai added, only our own echoes remain. Sunji noticed Lufan empty-handed, scoffing. Kid, no weapon. Half mocking, half suspicious. Lufan smiled faintly, flicked his wrist. Flames shimmered and vanished, revealing a glowing blade. It was the weapon he'd earned from slaying the troubled lion, a perfect upgrade from his rookie knife. Sunji examined it closely, impressed. Not bad, must have just awakened your class. Tainai warned coldly. If he tries anything, I'll neutralize him instantly. As soon as she finished speaking, the ground shook, pale hands burst out, and hordes of undead rose. Sunj, watch out. In a flash, he charged forward with his skill, shield bashing several zombies away. Tanthu shouted, nice one, and Sunji nodded, rushing in with Tainai to join the assault. Meanwhile, Lufan stayed back, analyzing their formation. Warrior, Knight, Rogue, a solid team, and Sunji was nearing his second awakening. Just then, Tanthu finished her chant, raising her staff, crying, holy light. Starlight burst, light rained down, healing allies and purging monsters within a wide area. She smiled at Lufan, explaining her hidden class, Holy Light Mage, balancing offense and healing but splitting her power. Lufan nodded, thinking another rare class. Her skills were deadly effective against the undead. Suddenly, the ground quaked violently, as if something huge was awakening. From below emerged a new horde, Bloodborne Dead level 20. Alita class monsters. Sunji barked orders. Tainai, protect the lady and that brat. My lady, with me, don't let them breach the line. They charged, but their blows barely scratched the creatures. The undead closed ranks, trapping their weapons. Tan the gasp. How is that possible? The monsters opened their jaws, spewing poison mist only priests could dispel. Tan the wasn't one. Sunji, help me, the lady cried, arm trapped tight. Sunji snarled, dropped his weapon, yanked her free, shouting, Tainai, take front. No one falls today. Lufan calmly said, no need, I'll handle this, stepping forward with his blade. Are you insane? Fall back. Sunji roared, but Lufan charged ahead, eyes full of resolve. Without a word, he glared at the lunging beast and sliced powerfully. To everyone's shock, the massive monster split in half instantly. Lufan turned, smiling calmly. Don't panic, we still have deeper to go. The team froze until the lady whimpered. Tan the rushed to heal while Sunji stammered. Well, what level are you? Lufan replied coolly, only level 14. I'm just training for the upcoming exam. Hearing exam, Tanthu stiffened. Their goals matched, yet his strength dwarfed even Sunja's level 28. Before she could think further, the ground cracked open, and a giant monster roared toward Tantho. Watch out, Tainai shouted, leaping to shield her, but as she raised her crossbow, a dark blur sliced through her view. It was Lufan. His blade flashed, felling the beast in a single clean strike. Lufan said calmly, the deeper we go, the stronger they get. It'll lead any objections. The group stayed silent, though Tantho frowned, thinking, could he be the one shaking up Shanghai lately? She smiled and replied, all right, you and Sunja lead. I'll guard Xiaojia. Tainai takes rear. The dungeon guardian must be deeper inside the village. Just call me Lufan, he said curtly. Let's move deeper in. Instantly, he led the team forward into the thick fog. Tantho watched his firm back, puzzled how could a dragon master, the weakest class, be that strong. Time passed as they reached the village center. Tantho healed Xiaojia while the others cleared the monsters. After the fight, Lufan glanced at Xiaojia, worried thus magic couldn't cure corpse poison, only defeating the dungeon guardian could save her. Tainu warned, no sign of the guardian, something's off. The massive scrap heap behind them trembled slightly. Before anyone reacted, Xiaojia weakly screamed, Sunji, behind you, then fainted. Hold on, Xiaojia. Tantho cried as Sunji turned to check. A crushing pressure erupted. The scrap pile exploded, revealing a steel giant, the dungeon guardian. Tainai screamed. Lufan activated his appraisal eye. Steel zombie. Level 20. 3720x. Drop scrap metal. Skill corpse poison fusion. The poison infecting Xiaojia made sense. No time to waste, he shouted. It's absorbing her. We must kill it now. Sunji swung his blade, unleashing a powerful full moon slash. But to his horror, the strike couldn't pierce the steel armor. Lufan gritted his teeth. If corpse poison summoned steel zombies, hesitation meant death. He dashed forward, slashing its head, but the blades only left faint marks. He calculated fast. The armor boosted defense by 40. He'd need at least 2 more heavy blows. With that thought, Lufan activated dragon blood armor. Dragon aura wrapped him, half his body transforming into a dragon form. The steel zombie roared, drawn by the poison's scent, charging at Lufan and Tantho. Coordinate holotype spells with me. Sunji, Tainai, guard Xiaojia, Lufan commanded firmly. As he spoke, his dragon arm struck the monster's chest with overwhelming force. Got it, Tantho replied, setting Xiaojia down and casting Holy Light. Starlight burst in support. Their combo shattered the steel plating. Tainai yelled excitedly. It's working. Sunji squinted, analyzing. It's growing by fusing corpse poison. Lufan nodded. Yeah, its true core hides inside that shell. Meanwhile, Tantho stared at him, thinking, I've seen many masters in the Tan family, but this guy must have a hidden class. The iron armor cracked completely, revealing the weak core within. Time to end this, Lufan said coldly. With no defenses left, the monster screamed and disintegrated under his fatal slash. The dungeon guardians down. Tainai shouted in shock. Everyone turned to him in awe. Is Lufan really Lufan? Moments later, a glowing treasure chest appeared on the ground. Tantho stepped forward sincerely, as agreed, while split the loot fairly. Sorry for doubting you before. Sunji laughed, patting his shoulder. Kid, you're so strong you could have soloed this place. We were just extras. You flatter me, Lufan said modestly. Without hesitation, Tantho stepped up and opened the chest. Inside were 3 items: a strength potion, an antidote, and a blood crystal. Tainai pouted. That's it. Sunji nodded in agreement. Lufan stroked his chin. A level 20 dungeon can't end with just this. Tantho quickly handed the antidote to Sunji. Give it to Xiaojia. Now. Then she offered the rest to Lufan. You earned these strength and antidote potions? He accepted gladly, admiring the Tan clan's fairness. Yet Tantho scanned the area suspiciously. Strange, the boss is dead, but no teleport gate. Maybe we should search around, Tainai suggested. As Sunji stepped forward, Lufan stopped him. Wait, don't wander off, that wasn't the final boss. He stared at the dungeon progress panel. 4 parts total, they'd cleared 3, the last marked by a glowing red skull. How can you be sure? Sunji frowned. Found something. Before Lufan could reply, Tantho said firmly, I can feel it, a dark force still lurking. Guided by her sense, they followed the trail to a lake at Tang Village's edge. Right there, Tantho pointed. Tainai tensed. If you can sense it, the boss must be close. Sunji nodded. This dungeon's small, we must have missed this spot earlier. Beneath the lake, a massive tentacled creature lay dormant, as if asleep. As they approached, hundreds of eyes opened across the tentacles. It's here, Lufan shouted as the lake boiled, tendrils whipping up like steel lashes. He activated his appraisal eye, but the system returned nothing. No doubt this is the real boss, he yelled. Spread out and take cover. Sunji didn't hesitate, rushing forward to block the first crashing tentacles. The sheer power flung him backward. Uncle G, Tantho screamed. Suddenly, Tantho felt something wrap around her, squeezing tight until she couldn't breathe. Tentacles coiled toward her. She shut her eyes, frozen in terror. The others could only stare helplessly. In that instant, Lufan flashed in, grabbing her and leaping aside, barely saving her life. Opening her eyes, she blushed upon realizing it was Lufan. Tainai ran up anxiously. My lady, are you alright? The air shifted. Murderous energy surged from the lake. A monstrous being emerged, dwarfing the steel zombie. Lufan appraised soul-shattering evil corpse. Level 25. Boss. Skills: Death Kai Disruption, Grudge Chains, Resentment Burst. So this is the true boss, Tainai whispered. Trembling, Sunji barked, Xiaojia, fall back, I'll hold it off. No, I can still fight, she protested weakly. Fool, you're still hurt, don't push it, Sunji yelled, raising his sword to block. He strained to hold the tentacles and shouted, attack now, Lufan! The boy charged straight at the creature's torso. Lufan's mind raced. Sunji and Xiaojia were only stalling. Victory rested entirely on him. It's still a zombie type hit the core. That's the key, he told himself. The boss roared, unleashing death. Ki disruption. Darkness engulfed the lake. A debuff spread, lowering all stats by 20. Crisis deepened. A massive tentacle lashed toward Lufan. He leapt up, stepping on a chain to evade, and dashed straight for the creature's core. The monster reacted instantly, spinning its tentacles to counterattack. Watch the chains, Tanthu shouted. At once, the creature launched grudge chains, knocking Lufan off and sending him plummeting, then swung toward Sunji's group. Fall back, Sunji yelled, shielding Tanthu as Xiaojia struggled to raise her shield. Tiny noticed Lufan midair, fired an arrow into a tentacle eye, deflecting the strike and saving him. Seeing his team struggling, Lufan knew hesitation would wipe them all out. He gathered power, stomped on a chain, and dove down yelling, everyone, move. Upon landing, he unleashed Dragon Fang thrust, scattering the coiling chains. The boss roared, summoning even more steel chains that bound the air itself. Lufan reactivated Dragon Blood armor and Dragon Claws. Facing it head-on, he lipped and slashed, shattering several chains as crimson light flared. Yet the attack only neutralized its strike, barely scratching the beast. Kid, this thing's beyond us, we must retreat, Sunji shouted. You'll die if you stay, Tanthu added. Lufan calmly replied, fall back to the cleared village area. I'll hold it here. And you, oh manage go, let's trust him. Tainai pulled Tanthu, who glanced back at Lufan one last time before retreating. Alone, Lufan stepped toward the monster, opening a spatial rift beside him. If they can't help, my partner will finish this. Come out, Xiaoyi, he roared. From the vortex, Xiaoyi burst forth like lightning, slashing the boss's tentacle. From afar, Sunji's group heard the explosion and turned in disbelief. When Xiaoyi appeared, everyone froze. A dragon? Is that a real dragon? He summoned a dragon, Xiaoyi roared, tearing tentacles apart as the soul-shattering evil corpse screamed, its claws ripping into the boss body. With the final blow, the colossal creature collapsed into the lake, sending waves sky-high. From afar, Sunji gaped. It's over, Tainai stammered. The boss fell in mere strikes, its power terrifying. Xiaojia gasped, we saw a dragon. Tanthu stood still, watching Lufan pack Xiaoye, realizing the dragon master of Jianghai was him. But behind every villain lay tragedy, and the soul-shattering evil corpse was no exception. She had once been a girl raised in this very village, sheltered by the church. Then plague struck, turning it into a living hell. Corpses piled like mountains. A dark witch only wished to help summoning souls so families could say goodbye. Ironically, the church accused her of bringing the plague. They chained her in iron and threw her into the freezing lake without mercy. I only wanted to save them. What did I do wrong? Her vengeful cry echoed in the wind. While the team rejoiced, Lufan noticed the lake boiling again. The portal hadn't opened, meaning the boss still lived. As he feared, the soul-shattering evil corpse resurfaced, body blackened. Entering its second phase, its stats skyrocketed, difficulty jumped to nightmare level, and new skills appeared: grudge shock, deepwater prison, vengeful form, and will of resentment. The monster roared, casting deepwater prison. Massive water cages formed, trapping everyone inside. Lufan and Xiaoyi dodged, but Tainai was trapped inside a watery cage. I'm done for, my lady. Sorry, Tainai cried hopelessly. Tanthu wept. No, it's my fault. My stubbornness brought us here. Amid despair, Lufan's firm voice cut through. You giving up already? Tanthu choked. I only have support spells, no attack power. Sunji gritted his teeth. The boss is immune to physical damage. We can only defend. Don't tell me you can cast spells too. Nope. But before he finished, the soul-shattering evil corpse launched grudge shock, a massive phantom hand reaching out. Lufan said coldly, I can't, but my partner can. Xiaoyi roared, activating Black Dragon Bloodline, slicing the phantom hand apart and forcing the boss to recoil in pain. Tiny gawked, his dragon's power is insane. Tanthu murmured, yes, that strength surpasses human limits. Lufan's eyes sharpened. Xiaoyi lava breath. Instantly, molten fire burst forth, engulfing the soul-shattering evil corpse in crimson flames. Moments later, a level-up notice appeared. The boss was slain. Xiaoyi was praised. The battle over. Then came rattling noises. Zombies rose again from the ashes, remnants of the boss curse. As the team froze, Xiaoyi transformed into a reed-haired girl, exhaling fire that burned all the undead to ash. Everyone gasped, that's the dragon. Tanthu was awed while Xiaoyi grinned proudly at her crispy victims. Lufan finally exhaled in relief, confirming the boss' death and telling the team to collect loot and leave. Then Sunji stepped to the treasure, declaring by rule, choose first. Tanthu simply nodded. Inside the chest were the holy staff, silver grave armor, ring of lament, and a rare class change scroll. Instantly, Lufan picked the scroll, leaving the rest for Tanthu's group. Yet he smiled and declined their offers, saying those items suited them better. The scroll was all he needed. Moved, Tanthu handed him the ring, admitting that without Lufan, they'd all be dead. Lufan accepted without hesitation, then quietly left under their admiring gazes. Tanda watched his retreating figure, heart filled with awe and curiosity about his hidden depths. 4 hours later, Lufan arrived home. As he recounted his journey, Henki hugged him tight, tears of fear and relief streaming down. Seeing her shaken, he smiled apologetically, promising never to make her worry again. She wiped her eyes, patting Xiaoye's head as the little dragon girl wagged her tail happily. Henki gently asked about food. Xiaoye nodded eagerly while Lufan laughed, showing the class scroll his souvenir for her. Shocked, Henki refused, saying it was too precious and should be sold for new gear for his upcoming exam. But Lufan just chuckled, showing his massive account balance he lacked neither money nor equipment now. So Henki accepted the staff, both anxious and proud, ready to help him take his next big step. Light filled the room the staff activated, marking Lufan's official class change to Enchanted Battle Chef. As it ended, he grinned brightly, asking his aunt how she felt about his new profession. Henki smiled, saying his cooking now had magic buffs, every dish would be special, then suddenly asked, "Where's Xiaoye?" Turns out, after devouring nearly all the buns, Xiaoye had collapsed on the floor, snoring with flour dust on her lips. Meanwhile, Tanda was reporting everything to her father, describing how Lufan summoned a black dragon to save them all. Calmly swirling his wine, Tan Sunhei asked if she had told anyone else. Startled, Tanda quickly said no, assuring him she had kept her promise to stay silent. Sunhei nodded slightly, warning that if word got out, powers coveting the black dragon's might would strike immediately. Worried, Tandu asked if her father bore ill will toward Lufan, since he had saved them. Sunhei laughed softly, telling her not to worry, and instructed her to personally thank the Dragon Master with a gratitude card tomorrow. The next morning, as fog still lingered over the streets, Lufan's small bun shop received unexpected guests led by the Princess of Taiji Kingdom. The doorbell rang. Henki wiped her hands, set down a tray of fresh buns, and went to greet them, smiling warmly. She asked what they'd like to buy, apologizing that the shop was closed today. The princess merely glanced around, then frowned at her black-armored guard, suspecting he'd brought her to the wrong place. Before Henki could speak, the guard rudely shoved the door open, knocking her down as buns scattered everywhere. Unbothered, the princess demanded, "Is there someone named Lufan here?" The Dragon Master, hearing the commotion, Lufan rushed downstairs, eyes sharp as he surveyed the chaos. The floor was covered in ruined buns. Henki winced, and the strange girl covered her nose from the smoky smell. Alarmed, Lufan helped his aunt up, asking if she was alright. While the princess coolly introduced herself, Lufan's gaze hardened as he asked who they were and what they wanted with him. The guard stepped forward, bowing, introducing his mistress as Princess Jinzhou of Taiji Kingdom, and himself as Kai Hongde, her attendant. Jinzhou smirked, saying she knew Lufan was a dragon master and had come to offer him a rare opportunity if he obeyed her. Kui Hongde opened a case, revealing a glowing orb, an actual dragon egg. Seeing Lufan's surprise, Jinzhou grew smug, declaring that if he wanted it, he must become her servant. Henki froze at her words while the princess bragged that the dragon egg was a Onyofakan treasure. Silent, Lufan didn't respond. Jinzhou sneered, thinking he was cowed by dragon aura. Unaware he was secretly appraising the egg, it turned out to be a low-grade earth dragon egg about as mighty as a walking rock. Lufan smirked mockingly and gave a few polite but empty compliments. His indifference stunned Jinzhou. Why was this dragon master so unfazed? Lufan simply told his aunt not to worry, that he'd handle it. Jinzhou snapped, hands on hips, declaring that without a dragon master was useless, but if he served her, had become the strongest in history. Lufan chuckled coldly, voice calm yet cutting, "Tempting offer, but I refuse." The words froze Jinzhou. Her face darkened in fury as she shouted, demanding if he knew who he was talking to. She couldn't believe anyone would reject a chance to rewrite Dragon Master history just to avoid serving her. Lufan replied sternly, telling them not to bother him again and to take their dragon egg back. He had no interest in being anyone's puppet. Veins bulged on Kai Honde's forehead as he roared that Lufan was insolent and disrespectful to the princess. Lufan only smirked, saying that even with power within reach, had never bowed another's leash. Face twisted in fury, Jinzhou ordered Kai Honde to teach him a lesson he'd never forget. Henki rushed forward to stop them but was shoved aside by the brute, who said coldly, "The princess has spoken." He growled, "A lowborn dares insult a princess? You refused mercy, don't blame me for force." As his words ended, a blinding flash sliced through the air. A cold streak of steel froze him mid-motion. Eyes wide with fear, Lufan aimed his dragon-scale blade at his face, voice like ice, "Touch my family and you pay the price." Henki trembled, begging him to calm down, while Koi Honde staggered back, feeling the crushing aura around the young man. But Lufan advanced, slapping Jinzhou hard enough to thunder. "Get out with your trash now," he roared. Kui Honde howled in rage, drew his weapon, and charged, shouting that a peasant who struck royalty must die. Lufan simply tilted aside and flicked his sword, knocking the weapon midair. Kui Honde stumbled back, shielding the princess, trembling as he asked if she was hurt. But Jinzhou, shaking with rage, slapped him instead. "Useless fool, do I look fine to you?" Trembling with fury, she swore that even if she missed every other dragon master, Lufan would still pay dearly. The tension thickened to breaking when, upstairs, a phone rang waking Xiaoyi from her nap. On the line, Tantho muttered in confusion when no one answered, wondering if she'd dialed the wrong number. Standing outside the gate, she jumped as an explosion thundered from the neighboring house. Smoke billowing high, curious townsfolk gathered, murmuring guesses about a fight some even suspected foreign troublemakers. Jinzhou, enraged, raised her staff to threaten the crowd, shouting for the lowly peasants to clear out. Kuihonde knelt, trembling, begging forgiveness for losing to a man of long country. Jinzhou snarled she'd handle it herself, her lips curled into a cold grin as her staff emitted dense black aura, devouring the room's light. Lufan frowned. This magic felt like Tantho's spells, likely a hidden class ability. Just then, Tantho arrived, alarmed, asking what was happening. Before he could reply, the dark aura wrapped around Kuihonde, his body swelling. Eyes bluttered as he turned monstrous. Transformation, Lufan thought, activating his appraisal eye to read both their classes and levels. Tantho moved to assist, but Lufan stopped her firmly, ordering her to fall back. He told her to protect Henki inside while he faced the rampaging Kuihonde alone. Lufan retreated slightly, gauging that the enemy's power had skyrocketed, had need to draw on Dragon Force to fight. Seeing her minion gaining the upper hand, Jinzhou laughed wickedly and screamed for him to crush Lufan completely. Before it could end, the wall exploded. Xiaoyi burst out, body morphing into a dragon amid dust. The sight froze Jinzhou in disbelief at the monstrous aura from that tiny creature. Lufan said coldly, "Fine, my turn," and Xiaoyi revealed her true black ancient dragon form. Before Jinzhou and Kuihonde could react, Xiaoyi roared and smashed them into the ground. The impact sent rocks flying. Jinzhou fell, pale-faced, unable to believe her eyes. "Impossible," she stammered as Kuihonde writhed, spitting blood, begging the princess for help. Jinzhou cursed him as useless and gathered her full power, aiming her staff at Xiaoyi. Xiaoyi's roar shattered her spell as dragon might erupted, breaking it instantly. Under massive claws, Kuihonde screamed for mercy. Xiaoyi flung him away like a sack, both he and Jinzhou crashing in terror. Dying, Kuihonde called his master's name while Jinzhou froze before the true dragon's power. Lufan walked up, voice sharp as a blade. "What was that? Wanted me dead for fun?" His approach made Jinzhou collapse, trembling, screaming for him not to come closer. Gritting her teeth, Jinzhou warned that had become an enemy of the Taiji kingdom. Lufan drew the dragon-scale blade, smirking coldly. "Still threatening me? Your men hurt my family, pay up." She stammered, "What do you intend?" In reply, Xiaoyi opened her jaws, forming a blazing red fireball that warped the air. At once, Lufan raised his blade and shouted, "Stop calling yourself a princess." His tone darkened. "Even gods will repay double," as killing intent filled the house. Just then, a flying beast cry sounded. Tan High rushed in shouting, "Lufan, stop!" Tantho cried out, "Careful, Xiaoyi is it?" Before she finished, Xiaoyi turned toward Tan Hei, fireball ready to launch. "Stop!" Lufan roared, slashing down to shatter Jinzhou's staff, then lowered his blade. Understanding, Xiaoyi ceased fire as Tan Hei landed, reminding him civilians were nearby and to calm down. Tantho stepped forward, pleading, "Please listen to my father, trust me this time." Lufan glanced at her, then ordered softly. Xiaoyi roared and turned back into the reed-haired girl. Tan Hei approached trembling Jinzhou with a calm smile. "Princess Jinzhou, are you alright?" He ordered a car, saying she must be taken to the hospital for her injuries. Hannah gripped Lufan's hand anxiously. Tantho explained her father knew the princess, but Lufan doubted Jinzhou would let this go. Soon after, Tan Hei returned, smiling reassuringly. "All's well now, thanks to you, Lufan." Lufan bowed, apologizing for the chaos, and tried to speak, but Tan Hei raised a hand, lit a cigarette, saying he'd sent Jinzhou and her guard to the hospital but still owed Kim family an explanation. He stressed that the Kim family wielded not just wealth but heavy influence in Taiji's nobility, making Hannah worry even more for Lufan. Lufan replied calmly, "No matter her power, I won't sell my honor for a cheap dragon egg." Tan Hei laughed proudly, patted his shoulder, then grew serious. He had a way to shield him, but under one condition. Lufan frowned. "What condition?" "Yer, Tan." Tan Hei lowered his voice. "In the coming exam, you must win the provincial champion title. It'll protect you from Jinzhou until it ends." Tantho warned softly, "Lufan, that's tough. South Province is full of geniuses and fierce beasts. Be ready." Tan Hei added that only if Lufan triumphed could he fully help Hannah, who whispered his name anxiously. Lufan's eyes blazed with resolve. He nodded. "Understood, I accept." Meanwhile, in the hospital, Jinzhou awoke furious to hear Lufan was fine, yelling at Tan Hei, who coolly said the matter was reported to higher-ups. Next day, the academy buzzed. Thousands gathered for the great exam, excitement and rivalry filling the air. When Lufan appeared, every gaze turned, murmuring about the student who once shocked the school. Some sneered he'd quit to sell buns. How dare a dropout return to compete? Hearing it, Lufan just smirked inwardly. Gone a while and already forgotten? Huh! The principal's voice boomed from the speakers, calling for silence. The exam was about to begin. Lufan muttered, remembering his 3 unused daily maps. Merging them might yield a superior map a huge edge. As he pondered, his homeroom teacher approached, asking if he joined. Lufan smiled, of course, and received a special teleport stone. The system chimed. He obtained a teleport stone, allowing movement between secret realm floors during the trial. Teacher Lee advised that team points are split, so think carefully. The goal is first place province-wide. Just then, Tanthu arrived with a girl, cheerfully introducing her friend Dao Xiaoman, a formidable warrior. Blushing, Tanthu asked, Lufan, want to team up with us? Dao Xiaoman gasped in surprise. Lufan smiled gently. Sorry, go solo, it's my condition, good luck. Then walked toward the staging area. Tanthu replied softly but felt heavy inside, knowing she'd only slow him down. Dao Xiaoman asked why she'd choose the weakest guy, but Tanthu smiled, saying Lufan would be this year's champion. Hearing that, Dao Xiaoman laughed, teasing that she must like him, making Tanthu blush and deny it, only fueling more laughter. Minutes later, Lufan stepped through the teleport gate into the secret realm among hundreds of contenders. Then the principal's image appeared midair, sternly explaining the rules and 4 challenge levels to choose from. First, he spoke of the normal level mirror illusions, safe but low rewards, only 0.9 points. Next came the hard level real monsters. This time murmurs spread, only hidden classes dared risk it. The principal warned the extreme level was even crueler, double points. Double danger, team play advised. Suddenly, Hong Wu, a level 14 craftsman, laughed boldly and declared he'd take the top score. His words drew all eyes. Dao Xiaoman whispered to Tanthu that Hong Wu was a top-tier fighter, making them tense. Another student sighed that with Hong Wu competing, no one else could hope for first place. Soon, groups picked their levels and vanished through glowing teleport gates. In the control room, officials praised Hong Wu's brilliance and expressed high hopes for Tan-Thus top 3 finish. The principal of Lufan's school sighed, saying with a stronger hidden class, his results might have been different, but Tanhai smiled mysteriously, claiming he had another bet for the championship. When asked who, he calmly answered, Lufan from No. 3 High School. The room erupted. The No. 1 principal laughed, saying Lufan must have quit. What a joke. He boasted that their Hong Wu had already reached floor 4. Unbeatable for sure. Then the No. 3 principal's face changed. Lufan hadn't quit. He was selecting the nightmare level. Everyone froze in shock. Nightmare level meant no return. They thought had lost his mind. Someone urgently warned him via screen no one had ever survived that level. But Lufan just smiled faintly and stepped through the gate without hesitation. The No. 3 students held their breath, recalling the last challenger who died horribly there. The No. 1 principal scowled, calling Lufan a fool unworthy to match Hong Wu. Others agreed, saying only Hong Wu had a shot. But Tan Sun Hai just smiled. Let's wait and see. The No. 3 principal asked why he trusted that student so much. Tan Sun Hai narrowed his eyes, recalling a rare ability. Could it be Lufan had awakened that power? In the nightmare realm, Crimson Vortex opened, dragging Lufan into a fog-drenched world of blood. As he landed, shadow beasts surrounded him. He drew his blade, ready for the first floor. Soon, black wolves emerged, bleeding bites and deadly pack buffs made them terrifying. They roared and lunged, but Lufan smirked. Then let's begin. In a flash, he dashed forth with Dragon Fang's strike, shredding the monsters instantly. The system chime. Floor 1 cleared. Massive reward 990 points. In the control room, everyone gawked. The No. 1 principal jumped up, yelling in disbelief. The No. 3 principal trembled, saying Lufan must have bonded with a true dragon, as his score showed him second only to Hong Wu. While the room sat stunned by that result, the door burst open with echoing footsteps. A man in a black cloak entered, introducing himself as a special envoy from Longdu. He sternly announced an order to detain someone named Lufan for investigation. Tan Sun Hai instantly recognized him as Qian Xiang, a level 57 swordsman. Meanwhile, in the secret realm, after clearing monsters, Lufan followed the Hideer map. He had fused himself. He discovered a glowing skill book reading growth acceleration, boosting X gain from kills. Smiling, he thought it suited Xiao Yi, his most loyal beast companion. Leaving the corpse village, he noticed Xiao Yi's slower leveling. This book was truly a winter miracle. In the control room, Qian Song watched closely, then asked Principal Bei to confirm Lufan's identity. He immediately ordered the exam halted and the boy teleported out for questioning. Principal Bei rose in protest, insisting Lufan must finish and offering to take responsibility. But Qian Song coldly refused. Silence fell. No one knew Lufan's crime. Tan Sun Hai stepped forward, asking to speak. Qian Song brushed him aside, snapping not to interfere or cover anything up. He warned the matter involved top-level orders. If Tan Sun Hai meddled, none could bear the consequences. The air grew tense as Qian Xiang demanded Principal Bai hand the boy over immediately. Lighting a cigarette, Tan Sun Hai calmly said if Lufan's secret got out, even Longdu and the Kim clan would tremble. He declared firmly that no one would take Lufan today. Furious, Qian Song pointed and shouted, "You're defying an envoy's order. Know how grave that is." Tan Sun Hai gripped his hand tightly, eyes firm, replying slowly, "Then I accept that." Qian Song fumed, vowing to report him to the upper council. The tension was knife-sharp. Principal Bai rushed to mediate, but Kyan-sung coldly demanded to know what made Lufan worth this risk. Tan-sun Hai turned, pointing at the screen. Aren't you curious why his secret scares even the high command? Everyone stared at the display, stunned to see he had chosen the nightmare level. Before anyone spoke, Lufan's blade flashed, killing monsters in a single strike. Silence filled the room. When Xiao Yi was summoned, the entire chamber went still. All eyes locked on the creature. Someone stammered, trembling, that's an ancient dragon. Xiao Yi is the ancient dragon. It roared, shattering the gate to floor 2 in one blow. Though they'd seen it once before, everyone was frozen as Xiao Yi effortlessly wiped out the entire second floor. Tan Sun Hei smiled. That's the secret. I meant the one that makes him untouchable. Under stunned gazes, Lufan and Xiao Yi stormed upward like a tempest, clearing 13 floors in minutes. The leaderboard updated. Lufan topped the nightmare level with 58,500 points, far ahead of Hongwu and the rest, watching in awe. Principal Bai concluded gravely. Lufan's stats must all exceed 100, not just thanks to the ancient dragon. Even without summoning the ancient dragon, Lufan still held first place, shaking the whole Jianghai. Tan Sun Hei chuckled, asking Kangxiang if he still planned to arrest the boy or now understood why he dared defy the Kim clan. He added that it'd send Lufan's battle footage to Lao Shi, so neither Long Du nor the Kim clan would touch him again. Kangxiang blinked, confused. Lao Shi, you mean who? Tan Sun Hei only smiled mysteriously, murmuring, Zin Beiho Du Jing, leaving everyone baffled. Meanwhile, in the nightmare realm, Lufan had reached floor 20, facing Dark Priest level 15 and deadly. They cast curses that weakened targets, empowered themselves, and summoned dark knights. Seeing Xiao Yi near leveling, Lufan commanded, Xiao Yi, purge them with magma. Instantly, the ancient dragon breathed a sea of fire, incinerating all foes in seconds. The system chimed. Floor 20 cleared. Xiao Yi leveled up. Lufan reached level 16. He shouted eagerly, onward, let's flatten this tower. The leaderboard updated. Lufan led with 90,000 points, far ahead of Hongwu, Tan Tho, and Dao Xiaoman trailing behind. In the extreme level, Hongwu had just cleared floor 50. Exhausted but boasting he'd be this year's champion, he laughed loudly, bragging and demanding the judges send his acceptance letter. The supervisor merely glanced at him, then turned back to Lufan's display. One principal said gravely, all past champions stopped here. From now, the real test begins. He must stay focused. During a rest between floors, Lufan reviewed Xiao Ye's new skill, shape-shifting between hatchling, dragon maiden, ancient dragon, and world-ender forms, each terrifyingly strong. Suddenly, an explosion shook the realm. Nearby mountains collapsed, dust clouding the screen. From the haze emerged a giant monster, Amethyst Mountain Colossus. Floor 20 boss, Nightmare Tier 3. It wielded terrifying skills: Mountain Ring, Frost Rift, and spell-resistant Amethyst Hide. Nearly indestructible, observers tensed, whispering whether Lufan could fell this beast. This was the true turning point. The No. 1 school principal sighed enviously, thinking if Lufan studied under him, their fame would span the nation. The Colossus roared and swung a massive punch. Lufan stayed calm, analyzing weaknesses and preparing to counter. With an excited grin, he ordered Xiao Yi to use the world-ender form. She roared, blocked the punch barehanded, and soared skyward. In that instant, Xiao Yi transformed. Power erupted, her aura shaking the very space around. Everyone watching froze in shock. None had imagined the ancient dragon had a unique combat form. Feeling danger behind, Lufan dodged the Colossus' thunderous strike just in time. He activated full attribute boost and shouted, Xiao Yi, counter with Titan Rift Slash. Xiao Yi roared forward, her claws tearing through stone armor, slaying the level 20 boss instantly. The teachers from No. 1 school gasped, exclaiming that blow must have exceeded 2,000 damage points. Principal Bai wiped cold sweat, realizing this power far exceeded all their predictions. As the dust settled, the mountain colossus lunged again, but Lufan was ready. He activated Dragon Blood Armorization, transforming into dragon armor form and delivering a punch that blew up the battlefield. Watching, Tan Sun Hei chuckled, telling Qianxiang he should be grateful he hadn't tried to seize Lufan. Qianxiang stayed silent. Inside the tower, as the dust cleared, Xiao Yi unleashed Dragon Roar and Earth Annihilation, erasing the monster completely. The system announced floor 50 cleared. Xiao Yi reached level 12, Lufan level 17. Total victory. Taking a deep breath, he thought choosing nightmare mode had been right. The danger now only meant rich experience. Tan Sun Hei stubbed his cigarette, smiling in the No. 1 principal, saying 50 nightmare floors were nothing for Lufan. Principal Bai nodded, then asked Qianxiang if he could gauge the ancient dragon's power when transformed. Qianxiang replied that from what had seen in Long Du, after transforming, its stats surpassed 2,500 at least. The No. 1 principal muttered that it matched his suspicions, perhaps even higher. Regaining composure, Bai suggested activating Mode X1 to see Lufan's true power. Tan Sun Hei frowned, confused. Bai explained X1 was a mechanism created by the tower's founder after floor 50. Monsters multiply exponentially, then all challengers must face boss-tier enemies found only in real secret realms. In that mode, life and death blurred, even nightmare difficulty became a true battlefield. Moreover, at nightmare level, X1 made every boss reach maximum stats utterly absurd. Tan Sun Hei tilted his chin, smiling confidently that such bosses meant nothing to Lufan. Inside the tower, Lufan felt the spike in difficulty, yet with Xiaoya's world ender form, he swept through floors effortlessly. In just 10 minutes, he reached floor 70, leaving the entire judging panel breathless. One teacher gasped, 10 minutes to floor 70. This year's tower was built to break minds. Yet he flies through it. When Lufan hit floor 83, the one principal was speechless, unable to believe his eyes. Tan Sunhai nodded slightly, recalling countless prodigies who'd fallen there. While Lufan marched on toward the final prize, Principal Bei pointed at the leaderboard, eyes alight, exclaiming Lufan might become the first to conquer all 100 floors. Out of jealousy, the one principal scoffed, saying to wait floor 99 was far more brutal than any before. Before he finished, a teacher shouted, "Look, has on floor 99 already." All eyes fixed on the screen. Inside, Lufan stepped into a ruined palace where 4 headless armors stood silently as if waiting for millennia. Suddenly, the walls glowed, the armors moved, and a booming voice echoed 2 words: world end. They were 4 headless knights, level 55, wielding Counter-Strike, Thunder Slash, and an oath buff boosting defense by 400%. As soon as the fight began, one knight shouted and unleashed a whirlwind slash lock straight onto Lufan. He dodged back fast, but the shockwave still threw him several steps. Seeing the situation, Lufan realized he had to defeat all 4 knights simultaneously to clear this floor. Without hesitation, he leaped high, twisting midair to counter with a full force slash. A knight retaliated instantly with a piercing skill. Black energy sliced the air in 2. Lufan dodged nimbly and countered repeatedly, but his blade couldn't pierce their heavy armor. As another knight lunged from behind, he spun to block and shouted, "Now, Xiao Yi!" Xiao Yi descended like a god, her roar obliterating the palace and all 4 headless armors in a single strike. Yet from the ashes, they regenerated, charging again, faster than before. Seeing that, Lufan shot upward, deciding not to waste time. He had to reach floor 100 immediately. He ordered, "Xiao Yi, unleash Magma Inferno." A fairy sea erupted, incinerating all knights instantly. The system announced Lufan had reached level 20, Xiao Yi level 15, gaining a new skill, Great Cataclysm. Lufan laughed excitedly. Another skill. Xiao Yi, just 1 floor left. The final gate opened slowly, crimson light flooding the chamber. Watching, Tan Sunhai laughed, glancing at the bald principal frozen in awe. "Looks like we're about to witness history." Principal Bei stared at the screen gravely. The place was clearly designed so no one could return alive. Stepping through the gate, Lufan and Xiao Yi were engulfed in black mist, his sword disintegrating to ash. Before them stood the fallen kingdom, home to 500 wraiths and a level 60 world and emperor. Lufan quickly checked Xiao Yi's new skill, Great Cataclysm. It dealt apocalyptic damage in 3 phases. He smiled faintly. "The final floor, let's claim our reward." Xiao Yi roared in answer. Lufan summoned a new sword and charged the boss. While Xiao Yi shifted into destruction dragon form, flames erupted across her body. Her strength and spirit stats soared absurdly high, leaving judges stunned. One teacher gasped, that 3rd flame form, so he still had a hidden trump card. At the Emperor's command, the entire Wraith army surged forward, a black tide flooding the palace. Lufan stayed calm, signaling Xiao Yi to unleash Great Cataclysm. The final battle began. The inferno devoured the army. Hundreds of wraiths turned to ash within seconds. Judges panicked, exclaiming this was far beyond anything a student should control. While Xiao Yi ravaged the field, Lufan dashed straight toward the world and emperor. Before him, 4 headless knights roared, "Before the king kneel," and lipped to strike. Lufan spun aside and shouted, "Xiao Yi, come assist me now." Xiao Yi triggered phase 3 of Great Cataclysm. An explosion obliterated the 4 knights, scoring 9.8 million points. A 30-year record. The entire Wraith army was wiped out. Lufan strode toward the boss, voice cold, "No more lackey, show yourself." The World and Emperor roared in fury, slamming his hand down, shaking the ground violently. Lufan raised his dragon claw to block and ordered Xiao Yi to unleash burn all things and counterattack. The impact shoved him back, blood dripping from his hand as his strength waned. It was physical damage plus the resentment ring effect. The Doom Emperor prepared a second strike, but Xiao Yi stopped it with a stronger burn all things, opening a counter window. While the boss was distracted, Lufan dashed in and pierced its chest, ending it in a collapsing roar. The system chimed. Xiao Yi leveled up to 17, Lufan to 22 as light flooded the tower. In the monitoring room, everyone was shocked. 1 million points. The 100th floor unbeaten for 30 years. Cleared with ease. Lufan smiled at Xiao Yi. "All done. Let's go home. Bet you missed my cooking." The system rewarded him with a rare skill book, Rage of the Ice Dragon King, Lingfeng Ring, and Legendary Cloak Flamebone. Excited, he checked each item, amazed to wield such strong control skills below level 30. After recalling Xiao Yi, Lufan strode out of the secret realm, ending a legendary trial. Upon emerging, he was warmly greeted. Principal Bei cheered, "Excellent. You're our school's pride. Your photo goes on the Hall of Honor." The principal from School 1 sneered, "Your halls for martyrs now, adding a live student." Bei shot back, "He broke the national record, more worthy than anyone." Either way, the trial proved Lufan had surpassed all limits, a true legend. Lufan chuckled, "Uncle Tan, qualify now." Right, the Tay princess won't cause trouble again. Tan Shanhai smiled kindly. Relax, I'll keep my promise. You'll see soon enough. Seeing his curiosity, he waved it off. Just focus on which academy to choose, I'll handle the rest. The surrounding principals buzzed about Lufam's future, while Qianshang quietly left without a word. In the north, in Long Nation, Zenbeiho Dujing sipped wine while rewatching Lufam's exam footage. A subordinate entered, confirming all evidence matched Tan Shanhai's theory of Lufam's true identity. The report added that Gian Truongfeng, a Long Duhai official, secretly colluded with the Jin clan, using Princess Jinja's study abroad to transfer Dragon Tamer power. Hearing this, Dujing slammed his glass shards flew as fury blazed in his eyes. Gian Truongfeng truly is a traitor. Grinding his teeth, he growled, betraying the pact for personal gain and daring to seize the Dragon Tamer. Zenbei will never forgive him. He instantly struck the table, roaring to strip Gian Truongfeng of all authority. Then he added, Long Du is no place for him. If he objects, let him come face me himself. But then he paused, ordering close surveillance on the Dragimer's choice of faction and to prepare the finest resources. Once alone, excitement filled him. Rarely had Long Nation birthed a prodigy he wished to meet in person. At that moment, news of Gian Truongfeng's dismissal reached Princess Jinzhou, who erupted in fury, vowing no one could seize the Dragon Tamer. Yet her aide calmly reported that the next trial approached and another Dragon Tamer had been found in Qingzhou. Suddenly, her fury twisted into a sly smile, hoping the opponent would behave this time. Moments later, the speakers announced Hong Vu's success in the Southern Province Trial Floor 72 with 18,000 points. He stepped out of the secret realm, filled with hope for the champion title and his principal's praise. The principal approached warmly. Hong Vu modestly said he scored only 18,000. Unsure if he ranked first, the principal laughed, praised his performance, and told him to rest. Hong Vu misread it as a reminder to stay humble. After results were revealed, Lufam's house was surrounded by entrepreneurs and top schools eager to befriend him with gifts. Amid the commotion, Tan Shanhai appeared with a gentle smile, inviting him inside for a private talk. As Lufam checked his score, Tan Shanhai handed over 50 million cash and a gift from Principal Bei. A system panel popped up. Rare skill Roar of the Azure Dragon King, summoning thunder for huge damage and paralysis. The item also boosted thunder skill power and lightning resistance by 20, thrilling Lufam. Finally, he received a level 20 gear set boosting stamina, reducing control, and granting a deadly blink skill. Lufam calculated that with these books and potions, his power now rivaled a fresh stage adept. Those blink boots were priceless. Tan Shanhai explained the skill was normally for mages after their second promotion, earning Lufam's deep respect as he accepted everything. Just then, Tantho rushed in. 10 university principals had arrived in Jianghai to personally invite Lufam for interviews. Lufam was stunned, while Tantho laughed, saying his files and scores were fully secured to avoid another princess incident. She added that Xingzhou had handled everything and wanted to meet him, but Tan Shanhai stopped her, saying to wait. He was still on duty. Then he offered a card, sincerely thanking Lufam for his past help, but Lufam refused. The sum far exceeded their agreement. Tan Shanhai chuckled, insisting it was gratitude for saving Tantho's team in a Dong village, urging him to accept. When he still hesitated, Tan Shanhai joked that tonight's invitation to Jiangshan Garden might even include a villa gift. How could he face that? Blushing, Tantho grabbed Lufam's hand and dragged him away before her father could tease more. Meanwhile, in the outskirts forest of Qingzhou, They escorted Princess Jinzhou to meet the target Dragon Tamer. Reporting he was only level 19, they paused and watched Tranthean Tri and his armored dragon battling a level 30 boss. Their fierce aura astounding everyone, Tranthean Tri commanded the armored dragon to tail sweep, then lunged with his spear to turn the losing tide. He poured all strength into a critical strike, slaying the monster as the system chimed a level up. Tranthean Tri instantly reached level 20. His armored dragon 15, he gripped his spear tightly, sweat mixing with his heavy breaths. Jinzhou praised him, saying giving him the dragon egg wasn't in vain. Tranthean Tri bowed, vowing not to disappoint her, but Jinzhou coldly declared the spear now belonged to Han. Though displeased, They bowed in obedience. She turned away coldly, declaring she'd make her trusted follower the strongest in Long Nation, no matter the cost. Jinzhou Esli vowed he would become the mightiest dragon tamer in history and her loyal servant, never to disappoint her like Lufam did. Hearing that, Tranthean Tri's eyes gleamed as he knelt, pledging his life to serve the princess. Jinzhou sneered, saying he had more ambition than the ungrateful Lufam who spurned her gift of destiny. She then ordered They to go to Jianghai and find which academy Lufam entered or not bother returning. Once he left, Jinzhou clenched her teeth in hatred, swearing Lufam would pay dearly for rejecting her. Meanwhile, at the Tan family villa, Tantha curiously asked if Lufam had decided on a university. He scratched his head and muttered that her father wanted to help inquire, joking that studying together would make teamwork easier. Tantha laughed, saying cooperation mattered most if they went separate ways. Working together again would be hard. Lufam softly replied she was his first choice but needed time to decide, making Tantha blush with worry about drifting apart. She clenched her hands, determined to attend the same academy as Lufam. Smiling, Lufam pushed open the conference room door, both eager and nervous, Standing at the center, he bowed slightly and introduced himself. Lufan. Instantly, a middle-aged examiner interrupted, praising his exam and asking which academy had joined. A female teacher cut in, offering Jiangnan Academy's 10 million scholarship and privileges, sparking protests from others. The bidding war escalated, each academy raising offers, scholarships, private secret realms, leaving Lufan utterly confused. The NEMS, Han from Longdu Academy, spoke up, declaring they wanted Lufan as their national trial representative. Someone objected, saying he was just a freshly promoted rookie, unfit for such a massive responsibility. Amid the doubts, Han calmly explained that the national trial was a global super-secret realm held every 3 years for the brightest young prodigies. The teachers who had been fighting over him now all opposed, arguing it was reckless with only 6 months left before the trial. But Han stood firm, saying anyone who passed the national trial could rise from top of the southern province to top of Long Nation itself. As he pondered, Lufan's system flashed a gaudier treasure map had just been delivered. Opening it, he saw the treasure's location matched Longdu Academy exactly. So Lufan accepted Han's offer but added one condition: admission for Han Ka, his rare chef companion. After a pause, she agreed. Soon after, Lufan and Hanka packed their things, leaving Jianghai to begin a new life in Longdu. On the way, Hanka hesitated, saying it had been ages since she left. Lufan smiled, assuring her they now had home and money, no worries left. The aunt sighed softly, recalling the boy he once was, her eyes misting at how fast time flew. Just then, Tan Thu and Dao Xiaoman arrived in a sports car to pick them up, making Hanka chuckle while Lufan asked curiously if they too were heading to Longdu. Dao Xiaoman honestly said her score matched Tan thus, and since Tantha chose Longdu for Lufan, she'd follow too before getting her mouth covered mid-sentence. The scene touched Hanka, who smiled warmly, finding the kids both pure and adorable. Then she looked at Lufan, teary-eyed, saying she once dreamed of college. He gently hugged her, promising a better life for them both. The Tan family car sped down the highway, heading straight for the splendid Longdu capital. The grand city rose ahead, towering skyscrapers and a bustling glow that left everyone awestruck. Yet Jinzhou, upon arrival, sneered that even Long Nation's capital was nothing impressive. Hearing that, Lufan frowned slightly, irritation flashing in his eyes. Tranthian Tri suddenly exclaimed the dragon tamer they'd been chasing in Jianghai was actually Lufan. No more wasted effort. He moved to attack, but Jinzhou quickly stopped him, warning they'd be deported if they caused trouble now, forcing him to bow an apology. Meanwhile, Lufan's group noticed Jinzhou's presence and worried she'd enter the same academy, prompting a quiet strategy meeting. Just then, Han appeared smiling, welcoming both parties and introducing them as the twin dragon tamers of the southern province. The hall buzzed with shock. Lufan was also a dragon tamer. The news spread fast, drawing countless stares. Tranthian Tri glared coldly at him, saying he'd long heard the name and wanted a direct duel. Calmly, Lufan turned to Mies. Han politely requested rest first. She agreed, guiding them to the new dorms and noting tomorrow's freshman assembly. As arrogant as ever, Jinzhou scoffed, refusing an escort, and left with her 2 aides. And led Lufan's group to a luxurious villa zone reserved for the top 30, and as valedictorian, Lufan received Villa No. 1. Tantha curiously asked if her and Dao Xiaoman's scores qualified them for this zone, or if they'd be in regular dorms. Han smiled, confirming the 3 would have a shared dorm section, though the villas were, of course, far superior. Just then, Hanka suddenly asked if they could stay with Lufan, stunning Tanthu and Xiaoman. Han thought for a moment and said it wasn't forbidden if the villa owner agreed. It was allowed. Hanka teased, "Little fam won't refuse, right? Don't you want to eat my cooking?" Making him laugh and nod immediately. Aunt Hanka cheerfully put her arms around the girls, saying living together would strengthen their bond for future secretrom teamwork. Seeing Xiaoman still hesitant, Lufan advised staying together. It'd save time for academy matters. Dao Xiaoman shrugged and agreed, saying if Tanthu stayed, she would too, making Tan the blush and nod shyly. Hanka clapped excitedly, promising to cook for everyone, while Dao Xiaoman whispered a warning to Lufan not to try anything with Tanthu. Suddenly, Lufan's system chimed. The treasure was inside the villa district, specifically in Villa No. 2 next door. He asked Han about its owner. She replied it seemed to belong to a female student from another province. Though she wasn't sure who, Lufan told the others to go ahead first, using the excuse of greeting the neighbor, while Hanka smiled and handed him a cream cake for luck. Dao Xiaoman snorted teasingly, saying he'd barely moved in with 3 girls and was already off to charm the neighbor. Nervously, Lufan rang the bell of Villa No. 2 moments later, a beautiful girl appeared at the door. He smiled politely, introducing himself as Lufan, the neighbor from Villa 1, hailing from Jianghai City. He offered a delicate pumpkin cream cake as a greeting gift, an item that permanently granted 3 agility. The girl accepted calmly, stating her name was Jian Ying from Northern Yun Province, her tone cold and distant. Lufan tried to act casual, asking to come in for tea. Surprisingly, she nodded yes. Once inside, he followed his system's guidance straight to the bedroom and discovered a hidden vault inside the bathroom. Within lay a second dragon egg, glowing brilliantly amidst dense energy waves. Lufan quickly concealed the treasure, returned with a smile, thanked her for the tea, and excused himself, promising to see her at tomorrow's opening ceremony. He left swiftly, while Jean Ying stood puzzled at the door, suspicion flickering in her gaze. She suddenly noticed her bedroom door ajar, clothes and lingerie scattered. Had that pervert just snuck in? Meanwhile, in Villa 1, the dragon egg in Lufam's hands began to hatch, flooding the room with emerald light. Jade Dragon emerged, its stats massive, boasting healing, gear fusion, stat boosting, and bloodbond synergy skills. Overjoyed, Lufan realized the Jade Dragon was a top-tier support type, amplifying combat power and team potential infinitely. Looking up, he saw Xiao Yi and the Jade Dragon sparring playfully and scolded, "You two stop before you wreck the place." He lifted the Jade Dragon, smiling. "From now on, you're Xiao Fei, little sister to Xiao Yi." Xiao Fei chirped happily while Xiao Yi growled in protest, prompting Lufan to hush them before waking the whole house. The next morning at the entrance ceremony, Henka split from the group due to her profession, jokingly asking if his room was fine last night. Before he could reply, chatter filled the hall, everyone staring at Tanthu and Dao Xiao Man for their stunning looks. Embarrassed, Tanthu pulled the group forward, whispering thems, and told those with hidden professions to sit in the front row. Dao Xiao Man laughed, saying it was fine to sit in back as long as she could see her friends. On the way, Lufan spotted Hongvu, the loud key master from a previous exam. He smiled and greeted him kindly, letting bygones be bygones. But Hongvu clenched his teeth, remembering his humiliation before the principal, vowing to reclaim his honor from Lufan. Taking a front seat, Lufan noticed Ji and Ying already there and greeted her, making Tantha curiously ask if they knew each other. He casually replied they were neighbors in Villa 2. Shocking Tantha, Ji and Ying was actually the province's second highest scorer. Moments later, Vice Principal Xiao Thangmin, the level 78 Thunder Mage, took the stage to open the ceremony. He welcomed the freshmen, stating the academy avoided empty speeches, and introduced the student ID card that acted as currency for earning points, shopping, and unlocking secret realms, each starting with their exam score. Immediately, a male student stood up, questioning the fairness of difficulty differences between provinces and whether results were truly balanced. But Xiao Thangmin smiled, saying the academy used a fairness ratio, scores divided by difficulty. The harder the test, the smaller the ratio, like 0.96 for the southern province. Hearing that, Lufan glanced at his 13,539 points, thinking it was all he had until the teacher added those scores were temporary, pending a month-long assessment. Thus, the top 30 scorers would enter the King Yun class, gaining privileges like private secret realms, rare item trades, and villa housing. The hall buzzed with talk of King Yun class, while Lufan quietly noted his top rank secured a spot for now drop in rank. Lose Villa No. 1. Instantly, Xiao Thangmin warned that entry didn't mean safety, anyone could challenge, and refusal wasn't allowed. Finally, he revealed the King Yun list. 30 names appeared, led by the southern province's Dragon Tamer champion, Lufan. As all eyes turned, Lufan calmly stood and waved, sending the hall into uproar over his mysterious identity. In the corner, Tranthean Chi whispered to Jinzhou, who coolly replied to gauge his strength before striking. After the speech, Tantho fretted that the teacher's intro basically painted a target on Lufan, but he only laughed in surprise. As the ceremony ended, Lufan turned to leave only to hear a challenging voice behind him, Hongvu blocking his path. Smirking, Hongvu cited the rule that top 30 must accept duels, demanding Lufan prove his champion title. Yet inside, Hongvu plotted to strike first, before Lufan could summon his dragon and claim victory. Lufan grinned and accepted without hesitation, while Hongvu smugly wagered 200 points. Certain of his win, Lufan merely smirked. 200 was big for him and replied, 200 is, let's play. The match stirred chaos across the field. Zhou quietly ordered Tranthean Che to analyze every move and gauge his true power. Not far away, Dao Xiaoman worried aloud if Lufan could win, but Tantho smiled. Just watch, you'll see how terrifying he is. On the hastily built stage, Hongvu took stance, grinning confidently as he counted down 3, 2, 1. Begin! At once, he unleashed full power, his fist surging with Kai energy as it shot toward Lufan, aiming to end it instantly, but his punch passed through an aftermage. Lufan had used a Tier 2 mage's blink skill, shocking everyone. Reappearing behind him, Lufan glided like a dancer through battle, movements precise and effortless. He smiled tauntingly, asking if the versatile Kai master had nothing stronger than those weak moves. Enraged, Hongvu roared, chaining human resonance wave I, firing rapid bursts of compressed Kai at Lufan. Thrilled, Hongvu thought victory was his as long as he kept Lufan from summoning a dragon. But his joy died as Lufan slipped through the raging waves like wind through cracks, spinning into a lightning-fast counter. Feeling danger, Hongvu activated his steel shield, boasting no one could break 280 points of defense, yet one kick from Lufan dropped him flat. The arena fell silent, everyone stunned that Hongvu was down from a single kick. No skill, no summon, power beyond reason. A student knelt beside the motionless Hongvu, blood on his lips, anxiously asking if he was okay. Lufan shook his head, voice calm but disappointed. I didn't even use full strength, and you're already down too weak. From afar, Jin Zhou frowned, asking Tran Thian Chai if he could beat him. Tran muttered he had only a 30% chance in a duel. Hearing that, Jin Zhou eased up, while Lufan calmly swiped his id card to claim the wager, reminding his foe to honor the bet. Hongvu stared at the 10,739 total, trembling, his real score near 1.3 million, tens of times higher than second place, leaving him speechless. After the fight, Tan Thu and Xiao Dao returned home to fetch Hin Ka, while Lu Fam lingered in the Secret Realm Hall. Smiling as others checked on him, Xiao Dao kept replaying the kick excitedly. Tan Thu nodded with a smile, admitting Lu Fam's power was beyond anything they'd imagined. Once everyone regrouped, Xiao Dao eagerly shouted for them to look at what Shed just found. Lu Fam raised his tablet, showing the secret realm with the highest X rate, though inside, he was annoyed the Hongvu mess delayed Xiao Face upgrade. Hearing this, Henka worriedly warned that it was a level 45 danger zone, but Lu Fam reassured her he could protect everyone, only one teammate short. Then Tan Thu pointed toward Villa No. 2, suggesting Lu Fam invite that girl to join. Realizing her rank was second in the whole school, Tan Thu insisted level 45 would be nothing to her, he should go ask. Though hesitant, Lu Fam approached Jian Ying, only to be met with a scornful glare that screamed misunderstanding. He thought, great, she still holds a grudge over that misunderstanding. Just my luck. Still, he forced a friendly smile, explaining they sought the same secret realm and inviting her to join their team. Jian Ying shot him a cold glance and uttered just 2 words that froze him: perverted thief. Instantly, all eyes turned to Lu Fam. Cass' face went pale with shock. While he flailed to explain it was all a mix-up, he hurriedly showed his tablet, clarifying he only wanted her to join the Toxic Spider Forest run and swore he was completely innocent. The moment she heard Toxic Spider Forest, Jian Ying's attitude flipped. She nodded and agreed, to everyone's relief. Yet when Lu Fam offered to pay the portal fee, she curtly refused, swiping her own card and walking straight in. Her balance showed after the 45-point deduction still over 8,700 left, leaving everyone stunned by her wealth. Lu Fam quietly calculated that with those numbers, Jian Ying's strength, whether from southern or northern Yun province, was extraordinary. As the portal shut, a full, musty stench poured out, making Hen Ka cover her nose and groan about the unbearable air. Narrowing his eyes at the single forest path ahead, Lu Fam signaled everyone to stay alert as they ventured deeper. After a while, Xiao Dao nervously asked why he had chosen such a terrifying secret realm. He replied that it checked them all. This one had the best level and reward ratio, the perfect chance for fast leveling. Henka cheerfully pulled out a special cookie bag, saying eating one gives 20x for 3 hours. Auntie bragged that the recipe came from a rare life skill blueprint. Super hard to make but easy for her job class. Anhan smiled proudly and handed a cookie to Jian Yin to taste. Xiao Dao curiously asked if the previous cake was also made by her. Henka laughed, saying, "You mean the pumpkin cake? I can make more if you like." Tan Thu added with a smile that Hen cooks great food and lives nearby, so they can visit anytime. Jian Ying looked surprised, a rare smile softening her usually cold face. Just then, Lu Fam heard rustling in the bushes and warned the team. Voice sharp, something monstrous was coming. A massive black serpent slithered out, its body blocking the entire path. Without hesitation, Xiao Dao charged, ignoring Tan Thu's frantic shouts. Her slash only left a faint mark. The scales were steeled, and the beast roared in rage. Henka warned that monsters here were level 40, urging them to craft antidotes instead of rushing in. Lu Fam nodded calmly, telling the team to focus on fighting while he handled support. He then summoned Xiao Fei, a small dragon that stunned everyone, especially Xiao Dao. Xiao Dao gawked, yelling, "Is this a dragon? Don't perch on my head, it's heavy." Making Lu Fam laugh, Henka gasped, asking how he had another dragon already. Half amazed, the snake attacked suddenly, lunging at Xiao Dao's blind spot for a deadly bite. Lu Fam instantly ordered Xiao Fei to cast a Jade Barrier, 3 shields boosting all stats by 30 and clearing debuffs. Thanks to it, Xiao Dao survived the blow, only knocked back but unharmed. "Let me heal you." Tan Thu rushed over, channeling energy until Xiao Dao realized she was fine. Lu Fam smiled, explaining that with Xiao Fei around, all controller damage effects are nullified. Tan Thu gasped that the skill surpassed a tier 2 cleric, and Xiao Dao agreed, praising Dragonkind's absurd power. Suddenly, the snake turned toward Tan Thu and Xiao Dao, lunging fast. Before Lu Fam could react, a brilliant sword light from behind cleaved the snake's head clean off. As smoke cleared, Jian Ying sheathed her sword, calmly warning the team they'd been spotted. Lu Fam was impressed, so Jian Ying was a hidden sword master. Truly formidable, he nodded, recognizing that sharp strike is the mark of a sword control class. No wonder she's ranked top 2. Before he could speak, Jian Ying tightened her grip, eyes narrowing toward the front. Lu Fam followed her gaze. A giant silver-armored spider was crawling up behind Henga. He lunged forward, pulling her aside just before its stinger struck. Jian Ying countered, but her blade only deflected the attack. It couldn't pierce the spider's armor. The monster roared, flailing its legs wildly, but Jian Ying's wind-like speed kept her untouched. "Careful!" Lu Fam shouted, lunging in sync with Jian Yin to deliver a fatal combo strike. Jian Ying warned that more spiders were coming and black net hunters were lurking nearby. She unleashed both her Po Jun heavy sword and Shui Hen sword, slicing through waves of enemies. Fighting beside her, Lu Fame asked if those unique blades were Job-exclusive weapons. Jian Ying replied mid-swing that swordmasters forge their own weapons, which level up with them, then froze a spider solid. Lu Fame nodded, realizing her class was like a dragon master. One raises dragons, the other raises swords. Spotting another spider ambushing Jian Ying, he ordered Xiao Fei to cast Jade Light and jumped into block. Saved in time, Jian Ying countered instantly, slashing a clean kill with her Mountain Devar move. "Thanks for the 30 buff," she said calmly, eyes glinting. Lu Fame smiled, quietly analyzing her deadly precise swordmaster technique as they fought. Suddenly Han Qi screamed. Tan Thu yelled for Xiao Dao to protect them as spiders swarmed in. Lu Fame barked orders: "You handle the hunters. I'll deal with the spiders. Xiao Fi, assist Tan Thu's group, avoid the webs or you're dead." Jian Ying got ambushed, her jade shields shattered, blood splattering from a hit. Seeing that, Lu Fame blocked her path, shouting, "You're hurt, don't rush in," and ordered Xiao Fei to heal. But Tan Thu called out, "Lu Fame, go help Jian Ying. Well managed under Jade Light." "Got it, stay safe," he answered, then dashed off. In moments, Lu Fame and Xiao Fei caught up as Jian Ying faced a giant beast. "Let me assist," he said curtly. He commanded Xiao Fei to raise a phantom shield and boost Jian Ying's attack. "No need. I've got this," she said coolly just before a black net web ensnared her. As escape seemed impossible, Lu Fame's arm turned draconic, shredding the net and slashing the monster apart. Jian Ying was stunned as power rivaled her full-force Mountain Devour, then heard him shout, "Together, finish it." They sensed perfectly Lu Fame's Dragon Claw and Jian Ying's Mountain Devour plus Destruction Break chained into a flawless kill. The system chime. Xiao Fei leveled up by 3. Lu Fame grinned, petting the tiny dragon. Sure, it hit level 5 soon. Watching, Jian Ying felt a strange warmth she had never thought someone strong could make her feel safe. Just then, Tan Thu's group arrived, excitedly saying they'd cleared the spiders and asking if Lu Fame leveled up. Lu Fame smiled. "Nope, it's the team's credit. No matter how strong I am, I'd never leave allies alone." He turned to Han Kia, who teased, "Why not use the Jade Light on yourself?" He replied, "Better to save it for everyone." Then Xiao Fei cast Fountain of Life, healing all. Xiao Dao cheered for another fight, and Hanka joked, "Lu Fame, your head's glowing green," making everyone laugh. Watching everyone chat happily, Jian Ying smiled. Maybe having teammates wasn't as annoying as she thought. Hours later, Xiao Dao checked the tablet map. Puzzled, "Wait, the map ends here. Are we at the final zone?" Hanka frowned, "But there's still a huge area ahead, right?" Lu Fame stayed silent, staring into the abyss before them. Tan Thu gasped, "That must be the boss lair." The system identified it as the Mother Silkworm. Level 45 with deadly skills. Lu Fame analyzed that they must clear the spiderlings first. Hankai tried to peek down, but Tan Thu stopped her, saying it was horrifying. Hankai insisted she had to toughen up. One glance later, Hanka gagged and ran behind a tree to puke, making Lu Fame laugh. "That's called reality shock." Xiao Dao checked previous team data, saying it took 4 days to clear the spiderlings before reaching the boss. 4 days. Hanka panicked. "I only packed food for 1. No roasted spiders, please." Tan Thu turned pale. Lu Fame declared, "We'll do it our way." Summoning Xiao Yi, eyes blazing with resolve, he ordered it to activate Destruction Dragon mode, unleashing the cataclysm, raining red fire upon the swarm below. The scene left Xiao Dao gaping. "That's a real fire dragon." Even Jian Ying felt the crushing dragon aura. While everyone was still stunned, Lu Fame released Xiao Fei, saying, "Let's sync with Xiao Yi." Xiao Fei chirped brightly, casting 3 buffs to amplify Xiao Yi, making the flames rage fiercer. Lu Fame told Tan Thu and Xiao Dao to guard Han Ke while he and Jian Ying leapt down to face the boss. Xiao Yi landed with a thunderous explosion, heat waves forcing Jian Ying to shield her face. Heart racing, 3rd-tier damage is terrifying, she thought, feeling like she was standing in a sea of fire. The surviving spiders climbed upward in panic. Lu Fame shouted, "Tan Thu, everything okay up there? We're fine. Just hit the boss." Tan Thu yelled, fighting beside Xiao Dao through thick smoke. Hearing that, Lu Fame focused and charged with Jian Ying toward the lair's center. The boss spewed toxic slime, but Jade Light barriers blocked it just in time. While Lu Fame shielded Jian Ying, the creature fired webs. He cut most apart but got grazed, then ordered Xiao Fei to absorb his blood to power Xiao Yi. 4 massive fire vortices erupted, engulfing the beast in a blazing inferno. Amid the chaos, Xiao Fei reached level 5, unlocking a new skill, Jade Blessing. Green light flared as the tiny dragon evolved, crystalline wings glowing brilliantly. The Mother Silkworm lunged, but a jadeless Jian Ying countered fiercely, spinning 3 swords in a furious assault. The sudden might of the Bloodbreaker's sword shocked her. It was far stronger than before. The blade that once couldn't pierce silver armor now sliced clean through, leaving a radiant streak amid the flames. Jian Ying finally realized Jade Blessing didn't just boost power, it added dragon tribe traits that completely altered her skills. Lu Fame fondly patted Xiao Fei's head. "Good job. Already tier 5 with a new form and top-tier support skill." He noticed dragon energy from Xiao Fei merging with Jian Ying's attacks, sparking a new combo idea. When the boss spewed poison again, Lu Fame dodged and ordered Xiao Fei to cast Jade Blessing on Xiao Yi. Empowered, Xiao Yi roared, spawning fiery tornadoes that engulfed the beast. As it writhed in the flames, Lu Fame, Jian Ying, and Xiao Fei charged in, landing a synchronized fatal strike. The system announced Lufan level 23, Xiaoyi level 18, Xiaofi level 7. Resting, Zhenying asked curiously, Lufan, what score did you get last exam? About 1.3 million. She froze. He felt way stronger than that number. Lufan just smiled, then called out, Tando, Daozi, bring auntie down here. Zhenying fell silent. Her score was half his, yet his strength felt worlds apart, stirring strange emotions. Thanks to Henga's buff dishes, the team cleared the dungeon, gaining not only levels but heaps of rare materials. For Zhenying, it was the first time she felt team warmth and the first time the Academy's top 2 willingly joined a party. To celebrate, they held a small feast at Lufan's villa, with Henga's grand dinner and laughter filling the house. In the days after, Lufan adapted to Longdu Academy life, studying theory by day, grinding dungeons with the team by night. After 2 weeks of training, only 2 days remained before the freshman trial, and everyone had grown much stronger. Lufan hit level 25 Zhenying and her sword, 24 Tanthu and Xiao Dao, 22 Xiao Yi, 19 Inca, 18 Xiao Fi, 14 progress that thrilled them all. Xiao Dao excitedly opened a reward chest and cheered, finally completing the Venom Spider set for sword warriors. Tanthu examined it carefully, a level 20 swordfighter weapon that fires black webs to bind foes for 60 seconds and poisons them for every 5 seconds. Eyes gleaming, Tanthu exclaimed, perfect, he'll crush the next exam. Kes smiled, urging rest, and the team agreed, ending the day in peace and warmth. As soon as they left the dungeon, Lufan saw Gyuhan waiting with a cryptic look, saying the vice principal needed him urgently. Lufan frowned, wondering what could be so serious right before the trial. Gyuhan just smiled mysteriously, saying he'd find out soon. Midway there, Lufan overheard students gossiping about a master who'd reached 7 to 3 reds. Confused, Lufan scratched his head as Gyuhan chuckled, teasing him for being out of the loop. Gyuhan calmly explained that Lufan's past bet with Hongwu made the school switch to a duel point, ranking win big or starve. Then Gyuhan pointed at Hongwu working nearby, saying 1 red was a point unit and the once 100 Hongwu was now repaying his debt through labor. Soon after, the two stopped before the vice principal's office. Gyuhan nodded and left, letting Lufan enter alone. The moment they met, Zhou Shengming got straight to the point. National trial plans were confirmed and starting earlier than expected. He added it was moved up from 5 months to 2, with Jin Chenghan of the Jin family joining an absolute powerhouse. Hearing that, Lufan guessed Taiji Nation delayed the trial to let Jin Chenghan finish his 3rd ascension for an edge. Zhou slammed the desk angrily, saying the opponent was rigging the gap since other nations only reached 2nd ascension. It was blatant bias. Lufan merely nodded, knowing the gulf between 2nd and 3rd ascension was vast. While Zhou lamented their academy's unfair position, he sternly warned that in 2 months Lufan could at most reach level 30 of 2nd ascension, while rivals exceeded 50 dangerous odds. Finally, Zhou looked him straight in the eye, reminding him Dong Nation had won often before and asking, do you still dare join the trial? To his surprise, Lufan's eyes blazed with resolve. He called it his chance to make Long Nation proud and vowed to win, at any cost. After a long pause, Zhou smiled and promised full support, urging Lufan to explode with power in the coming exam. The next morning, as the exam began, Zhou stood on the podium, voice booming as he announced the rules: absolute obedience required. He explained each team would consist of 2 members fighting directly in the arena. The hall erupted. Some complained about being support types, while Tanthu's side and reliever team just fit the rule. The 5-member limit meant her class split perfectly into 2 valid teams. Zhou calmly continued that newcomers shouldn't worry. Preliminaries started that afternoon, and the top 100 list would post tomorrow night. As soon as he finished, students scrambled for partners. A boy named Gu approached Jianying, introducing himself as the duelsword rank 7, inviting her to team up, but Jianying coldly declined. Walking straight to Lufan's group, he then proposed a 4-person lineup with Tanthu and Dao Zi. The scene jumped to the next day, the prelim arena ablaze amid thousands of cheering students. By then, Chen Qinji and Jin Zhou, powerful duo, had crushed 28 teams straight. Holding firm at rank 7, Chen Qinji asked, eyes burning, whether they might face the two-pranked pair next. Jin Zhou smiled slyly, saying once her brother Jin Chenghan appeared, she'd recommend Chen, but first he must take 1st place. Just then, the speakers blared the next match: rank 18, Chen Qinji and Jin Zhou versus rank 1, Lufan and Jianying. The arena exploded with cheers. Twin Dragons battle. People roared, awed that the 2 strongest had joined forces. Earlier, when Lufan wanted to split the team so everyone could rank higher, Tando had firmly refused. She urged him to pair with Jianying and go all out for 1st place, while she and Dao Zi would handle their own match. Though hesitant, Lufan relented after Tan's stern reassurance they'd give full support. He only needed to win. Back in the present, from the stands, Tanthu shouted encouragement, voice brimming with faith, Lufan, bring home that 1st place. Lufan chuckled, rubbing his hands eagerly, glancing at Jianying. 1st place easy, right? Jianying replied coolly, eyes sharp. Of course, Nothing can stop us. Before the match, in the waiting room, Lufan pieced together fragments of a treasure map, finding they pointed to a remote zone. He realized the Academy deliberately split the map to test strength. Only the powerful could reach the true treasure. The loudspeaker called their names. Lufan smiled at Jin Ying. Our turn to shine. The audience buzzed, some calling the top 12 pair unbeatable, others warning that Chen Zhi's 28-win streak was no joke. Facing Chen, Jian Ying whispered nervously if Lufan was sure or just betting for fun, making him laugh daringly. Shocked, Jian Ying asked if he really planned to solo, and Lufan simply nodded. It was the most logical choice. He added lightly that their fighting styles were surprisingly alike. Grinning, Lufan set a wager if he won, Jian Ying must reveal all secrets of the Swordmaster class. As the signal sounded, Chen Qingji attacked first, charging with his dragon like a storm. He roared arrogantly that there could only be one true Dragon Master today and the other would be crushed. But his opening spear strike pierced only Lufan's illusion, hitting empty air. While Chen was stunned, Lufan's voice came from behind, reminding Jin Ying she couldn't back out of their bet now. Then he launched a spinning kick, channeling dragon blood and dragon claw, his arm morphing into razor talons. The uppercut sent Chen staggering. His dragon reeled, stumbling backward in shock. Jian Ying stood with folded arms, watching as Chen roared in fury, demanding why his foe dared look down on him. Lufan smirked, saying it was just a little wager. Why get serious against such weaklings? That line made Jinzhou sneer coldly, eyes flashing murder, vowing to make him pay for the insult. She shouted the attack command, her energy surging wildly across the arena. The Earth Dragon roared and lunged, but Lufan taunted calmly, mocking its broken teeth. Laughing, he raised his weapon, saying he'd fix them, then unleashed his strongest dragon skill strike. The devastating blow wounded the Earth Dragon heavily, blasting rubble and dust across the arena. The crowd shot to their feet, jaws dropped at the unbelievable display of power. People whispered in awe. Lufan had single-handedly suppressed a dragonkin and forced it down in mere moves. The arena fell silent, his attack shockwave still cracked the stone floor beneath them. Trembling, Chen barked frantic orders. Drenched in sweat from the crushing pressure, he yelled for his Earth Dragon to whip its tail and unleash a wide shockwave to turn the tide. Spectators gasped. Certain Lufan couldn't dodge such a sweeping strike, yet with Shadow Soul Shift, he nullified it effortlessly, completely unharmed. In a blink, Lufan sat casually atop a boulder, smirking, asking when the two would finally make him get serious. Beside him, Jian Ying watched in awe, astonished that he could suppress both the Earth Dragon and its master at once. Jinzhou screamed furiously, ordering Chen Qingji to fall back so she could handle it herself. Hatred blazing in her eyes, she snarled that Lufan hadn't even used his dragon pet or teammate, yet still humiliated Chen before everyone. Venomously, she mocked that he wasn't worthy of her brother's notice, nor fit to dream of being Taiji Nation's strongest Dragon Master. Clenching her fists, eyes burning, she vowed to personally reclaim her and her team's honor. Lufan frowned. He recognized that spell as the same one that had once turned her servant into a monster. Sure enough, the Earth Dragon's body swelled, scales gleaming gold, its aura so fierce the stands trembled. The audience gasped, wondering why Lufan still hadn't summoned a dragon. Wasn't this supposed to be the twin dragon battle? Jian Ying instantly summoned her two blades, Po Jun sword radiating explosive power. Simultaneously, the Bloodbreaker sword flared, piercing defenses and doubling her sword control speed. Yet Lufan raised a hand calmly, stopping her, reminding her their bet and claiming had handled that spell before. Jian Ying could only watch anxiously. Without another word, Lufan advanced, eyes locked on the grotesque golden-scaled Earth Dragon roaring before him. Across the arena, Jinzhou shouted orders, urging Chen Qingji to go all out and kill Lufan on the spot. Chen obeyed, sending the dragon charging, while Jinzhou snarled to reclaim the black dragon and cripple him again, but her voice faltered. The pressure radiating from Lufan froze the very air. Far beyond imagination, suddenly, Lufan raised his hand and chanted Dragon Tongue, Wrath of the Ice Dragon King. An enormous ice dragon illusion roared, freezing the Earth Dragon solid. Frost engulfed the arena. Spectators shivered, breath turning to mist, realizing it was illusion magic, not a real summon. Ignoring their whispers, Lufan said coldly that even if her power rose higher, it was meaningless. She was nowhere near touching the black dragon. Then he vanished, reappearing before Jinzhou, his blade descending like lightning. Watch out, Chen Qingji shouted, diving into block while ordering his dragon to counterattack with everything it had. The beast roared flames, but Lufan blinked aside, reappearing behind it in an instant. The crowd erupted in awe. Smirking, he pitied such blind loyalty, then uttered another dragon chant roar of the Blue Dragon King. Thunder split the arena, lightning struck the Earth Dragon, its scream shaking the Colosseum as its massive body convulsed in agony. The audience went wild, stunned that Lufan unleashed yet another Dragon Tongue spell, winning streak after streak without summoning any dragon. In the center, Chen Qingji stood frozen, face pale, unable to believe what he was witnessing. He stammered, failing to grasp how two Dragon Masters could differ in strength so absurdly. Returning to his spot, Lufan asked calmly why Chen only used Dragon Spear thrust and no other techniques. As Jinzhou screamed at him to keep attacking, stroking his blade, lightning sparking, Lufan's cold gaze fixed on him, pointing out that Dragon Spear and Dragon Fang shared the same root, so why hadn't he ever used Dragon Claw or Dragon Bone Dance? Hearing that, Chen Tianji was stunned, suspecting it was Han Jinja's forbidden skill. While she furiously called him a coward and ordered him to fight to the end, Lufan just smiled, explaining his link with the Earth Dragon wasn't complete, so he couldn't unleash his true skill. Advising Tianji to stop since their paths differed, Chen Tianji lowered his head trembling, choking out that they never had any deep grudge. Lufan replied, telling him not to sell his pride to be Jinja's slave or destroy himself for her sake. Suddenly, Chen Tianji snapped his head up, eyes blazing. Yelling that Lufan had no right to lecture him, he turned to Jinzhao, pledging absolute loyalty, begging for reward, and swearing to punish Lufan for insulting the princess. Jinzhao was briefly surprised, then smirked coldly, saying this was his last chance to redeem himself. She raised her staff, chanted a spell, and dark energy surged into Chen Tianji. He screamed in pain yet knelt in submission. Lufan frowned slightly, puzzled by his blind loyalty to such cruelty. Inside, Chen Tianji's heart roared without Jinzhao. Had been nothing, so he'd pay any price willingly. His body swelled, muscles cracked, sprouting two monstrous arms as Jinzhao laughed triumphantly, ordering him to destroy Lufan. Chen Tianji charged like a mad beast, four arms gripping his spear, roaring die, and unleashing a furious dragon lance strike. Lufan didn't dodge, raising his lightning-bright sword, saying coldly the man was more pitiful than hateful. He chanted the wind spirit words, his speed exploded, and his form became a bolt of lightning rushing forward. In a blink, countless sword slashes erupted, forming a storm of thunder roaring across the arena. When he stopped, Chen Tianji was engulfed in lightning, eyes white, body frozen. Lufan softly said, "Sorry, princess." His gone. Chen Tianji collapsed, eyes empty, leaving Jinzhao staring in horrified silence. Then Lufan slowly approached. Raising his hand, Jinzhao panicked, fell back, trembling as she warned her brother was Taiji Kingdom's leader. He said nothing, simply delivered a blazing slap echoing through the arena. "Fine," Lufan smirked. "If I owe your brother, let's see if he's man enough to collect." With that, he turned away, ignoring the noisy crowd split between outrage and awe. Just then, Xiao Shengming's voice boomed from the speakers, demanding order. He solemnly declared the match result was final. The winners Lufan and Jian Ying. Then he turned to Gu Han, ordering him to bring Lufan to his office immediately. Gu Han nodded, eyes following Xiao Shengming's fading figure. Later, in the office, Xiao Shengming began, saying Lufan's actions were reckless and might be seen as personal vengeance. Lufan calmly explained he understood Chen Tianji's pain from his own losses and only wanted to stop him from straying. Xiao Shengming nodded slightly, handing him a tablet, saying the principal had watched the entire fight and had a more important matter. Hearing about withdrawal, Lufan grew uneasy, asking if they were disappointed in his performance. Xiao Shengming chuckled, saying it was the opposite. He was chosen for the National Wisdom Trial. With a top-tier secret realm prepared just for him, Lufan took the tablet, mumbling that secret realm hunters were like guilds trading resources and rewards in forbidden zones. Xiao Shengming added that such realms were fiercely auctioned, but the Academy would pay all costs for his best conditions. Adjusting his glasses, he stressed that Longdu Academy never spared resources for National Wisdom Trial representatives. All promises to Lufan would be honored. Lufan nodded, studying the list intently, his eyes lighting up at one special name. Smiling, he handed the tablet back, declaring firmly, "I choose this realm." Xiao Shengming paused, reading aloud Secret Realm Feilong Lanjuan. Ranks, Nightmare difficulty, 12% limit. Starting bid 1.375 million long coins. The next morning, the semifinal buzzed with excitement as Guan prepared to announce the first match: Team Lufan versus Team Jiao Fengyan and Xu King. Suddenly, Xiao Shengming raised his hand, signaling to stop the announcement, clearing his throat. He announced through the mic, "Team Lufan and Jian Ying have officially withdrawn from the exam. The schedule will be rearranged." The words hit like thunder. The crowd erupted in shock. Dao Xiama frowned in frustration, while Qinyu patted her shoulder, guessing they had entered the secret realm. Indeed, Lufan and Jian Ying were trekking through the forest around Feilong Lanjuan. He apologized for making her skip the exam, but she smiled, saying it was fine. The Academy even kept their credits and gave bonus points. She paused, eyes shining, saying entering such a rare realm was reward enough. Lufan smiled, offering her all the loot and keeping only the experience. Suddenly his gaze sharpened. He shouted toward the treetops. Jian Ying flinched as a laughing reed-haired figure leapt down. The man raised his hand amicably, saying lazily, "Relax, relax. I mean no harm." He introduced himself as a member of the Secret Realm Hunters Guild, telling them to call him He Chu. Lufan pointed to his Longdu badge, asking directly if he was their assigned guide to Feilong Lanjuan. He Chu nodded and turned to lead the way. As they walked, he chatted, saying his job was to escort them to the teleport gate, praising Longdu Academy's generosity. Curious, he asked their levels. Upon hearing Lufan was level 25 and Jian Ying level 24, he froze. He Chu nearly fell over, shouting that they were insane. This was a nightmare tier realm meant for level 55 and above. He hurriedly pulled out his phone to report back, but Lufan calmly stopped him, saying not to waste time. Just then, The ground trembled. A sudden attack struck right before them. A giant tree crashed down, roaring through the air and filling the place with dust. Reacting instantly, Lufan pulled Jianying clear of danger as he chewed Dove aside in panic. As soon as they landed, Lufan turned, chanting Blue Dragon King's roar erupted as a massive beast slammed to the ground. Startling Hichu, stammering in disbelief, he asked who Lufan really was to wield such power at only level 25. Looking closer, Hichu froze in horror. It was a slain azure-winged dragon eagle. Level 50. Ranka! Lufan stayed calm, sparks crackling around his hand, smiling that level didn't matter, just lead the way faster. Hichu gulped and nodded rapidly, his gaze shifting from doubt to admiration as he led them deeper into the forest. After a long trek along a mossy, overgrown path, a blazing red light appeared ahead. A massive fiery vortex opened like the gate of hell. Hichu pointed, saying it was the entrance to Feilong Lanjuan, while Lufan knew it led to the divine Feilong tree. Hichu waved goodbye, saying his escort mission was done, but Lufan's voice stopped him. Wait, Hichu. Lufan smiled and offered a handshake, hoping to ask him for location info in the future. Hichu blinked blankly, unsure what place Lufan was referring to. Meanwhile, Jianying, uninterested, walked straight into the realm, prompting Lufan to clarify he only wanted geographical info, not realm secrets. Still, Hichu hesitated, worrying the guild might treat it as leaking private data. Finally, he nodded, quoting 10,000 long coins per location, calling it a friendly rate. Lufan immediately shook hands in agreement, leaving Hichu stunned by the lightning-fast deal. As Lufan stepped into the vortex, Hichu muttered how rich Longdu students were, while Jianying urged him to move. Emerging inside, Lufan gazed around in awe at the divine Feilong tree, where a divinityr map might be hidden. Just then, Jianying trembled, asking if Lufan heard the rumbling below. Frowning, he listened. It was the stampede of corpse of Feilong beasts approaching. The system blared a warning: level 50 monsters with pack instincts and toxic breath that weakened attack power. Instantly, Jianying summoned her breaking army greatsword, slashing the first beast with crushing mountain. The mighty blow sent shockwaves, striking several others nearby. Lufan followed swiftly, summoning Xiao Yi into battle. In a flash, Xiao Yi spewed blazing magma, burning the horde to ash while regenerating its own strength. But as Jianying focused on her sword control, another monster crept from behind, ready to breathe poison. Sensing the killing intent, she leaped and unleashed Breaking Destruction's sword, piercing its skull midair. Yet upon landing, she realized in horror she'd stepped past the edge of the colossal tree. Her body plummeted into open air. She panicked, calling her sword to catch her. Another Feilong swooped in, blocking the rescue. She could only stare in despair without her sword. A swordmaster was as good as unarmed. At that moment, Lufan dove like lightning, his weapon glowing with blood-packed power. A fierce slash tore the Feilong apart midair, then he stretched out his hand, shouting for Jianying to grab it. She instantly caught his hand, gripping tightly. Lufan twisted his body, driving his weapon into the tree trunk to slow their deadly fall. When they finally stopped, both gasped for breath, but their eyes were steady again. Lufan smirked, teasing her to be more careful. What they sought wasn't down below anyway. Jianying chuckled, saying she owed him another rescue. They resumed climbing, alert to strange sounds echoing above. Suddenly, from below, Lufan spotted a giant mist dragon head lunging upward at terrifying speed. Instantly, Lufan shouted a warning, hugging Jianying tight against the trunk as the monster's strike grazed his back. Regaining focus, he roared upward, summoning Xiao Yi to battle. Above, Xiao Yi had just finished off a Feilong pack when it heard its master's call and turned back. But before it could react, the giant skull lunged forward, swallowing it into darkness. Jianying screamed in shock, recognizing it as the Bone Dragon Berserker, a nightmare boss shown by the system. Lufan set her down, assuring her Xiao Yi was fine, saying he'd handle the monster and telling her to keep climbing. But before Jianying could respond, Lufan had already charged at the Bone Dragon, making her cry out in alarm. He didn't stop running while summoning Xiao Yi anew. Instantly, Xiao Yi shifted into destroyer form, its body blazing crimson. A moment later, the Bone Dragon spewed raging fire, lighting the whole treetop. With an earth-shattering boom, Xiao Yi's dragon form tore through the skull, roaring in the sky. One horn shattered, its jaw cracked. Jianying gasped, realizing Xiao Yi had an even stronger form. Then Lufan summoned Xiao Fei, commanding it to unleash Jade Blessing. Xiao Fei chirped, coating him in emerald light. 3 orbs circled his head, boosting his next 3 attacks. Lufan leapt high, calling for Xiao Yi's coordination. Xiao Yi swooped to catch him, spiraling above the Bone Dragon and roaring thunderously. The roar weakened the enemy, paving the way for the enhanced Dragon Fang strike, slashing the Bone Dragon's skull apart. Yet the monster still refused to die. Its eye sockets and chest core glowed wildly, signaling a counterattack. Its whole skeleton broke apart, spinning into a deadly bone storm, its damage rising as its health waned. Lufan readied to counter, but a red beam suddenly cut through the battlefield. The beam shattered the remaining horn, interrupting the Bone Dragon's spell. Turning in surprise, he saw Jianying flying toward him and shouted, asking why she came down. Calmly standing on her flying sword, she said since he defeated Chen Tianji, she'd now reveal the Swordmaster's secret. Lufan smiled, signaling her to team up. Jianying guided her flying sword close to the monster, While preparing, she explained that every 5 levels, a sword master gains a new weapon. Smirking, she introduced her ace weapon Karma Flame Scythe, level 20, imbued with fire and darkness, draining life to boost damage. Then she clenched her fist, shouting to activate Sunburst Eruption. The scythe flew forth, exploding with destructive energy, slicing deep into the bone dragon's body. Watching, Lufan realized swordmasters didn't use fixed skills but drew power from each weapon's nature. He yelled for Xiaofei to join the final strike. Xiaofei soared beside Xiaoyu, extending Jade Blessing to empower the finishing blow. Xiaoyu roared, slashing its claws in a fatal strike, turning the bone dragon berserker into a burst of experience light. The system announced Jade Line upgraded to level 15, unlocking a new transformation skill. Simultaneously, Lufan leveled up to 26, his strength surging, watching Xiaoyi and Xiaofei circling him. Zhen Ying sighed heavily despite her trump card. Xiaoyi still dealt the killing blow. The ancient dragon's power was beyond belief. Lufan only laughed, waving it off, thanking her for saving him from the bone storm and helping him gain so much from the battle. Zhen Ying's eyes sparkled with curiosity, asking what made Xiaofei's level 15 so special. Lufan opened its stats list, reading new abilities that left her wide-eyed. Smiling, he explained that at level 15, Xiaofei could transform just like Xiaoyi. Already owning 4 forms, he was eager to test them. Zhen Ying nodded in agreement, suggesting they continue exploring the divine Feilong tree. But before they could move, blazing fireballs rained down from above. Both shouted a warning. Realizing it was a white area magic attack, they quickly pulled their dragons behind the massive trunk for cover. Lufan frowned, peering through the leaves. Above, another flock of Feilongs circled warily, drawn by the earlier bone dragon battle. He sighed, knowing the noise had lured them in. Instantly, Lufan devised a plan, ordering Xiaofei to turn into spirit light and attach to Xiaoyi. Then he told Xiaoyi to shield them while he and Zhen Ying climbed the tree. At once, Xiaoyi shifted in apocalypse form, while Xiaofei became a green aura encircling the dragon. The Soul Guard skill activated, doubling all stats, absorbing damage to build spirit charge at 10 layers. It counterattacked, doubled further for Dragon-type allies. Xiaoyi rode as red and green energies fused explosively, its power and speed skyrocketing beyond normal limits. Zhen Ying gaped, exclaiming she hadn't expected Xiaofei's buff to be that strong. Lufan smiled, confirming it was the nature of Jade bloodline. Quietly, he calculated that with Soul Guard and this bloodline combined, Xiaoyi's power already exceeded 26,000, and upon reaching the treetop, it could top 30,000. Just then, the first wave of spells rained down like fiery storms. Calmly, Lufan ordered Xiaoyi to fly straight while Xiaofei absorbed all damage. Every blast hitting the dragon was swallowed by Xiaofei's green barrier, thickening the energy layers. Suddenly, it released them all, sending a massive shockwave back at the Feilong flock. The monsters were flung apart, falling like autumn leaves. Zhen Ying gasped, asking if that was Xiaofei's skill. Lufan nodded, saying Soul Guard not only nullified damage but stored it for counterattack, and with a dragon host, it doubled in strength. Zhen Ying bowed her head, realizing Shed thought leveling worked like weapons, but it actually unlocked skills, and despite her efforts, she still lagged behind Lufan. A violent gale suddenly swept through, halting them both. Lufan looked up and murmured, "The boss is just ahead." Moments later, the colossal monster appeared. Zhen Ying instantly recognized it as the Steelbone Feilong, level 60, Nightmare tier leader, armored and capable of crushing charges. It roared, sending shockwaves rippling through the forest. Then it shot forward like an arrow, striking Xiaoyi with Steelbone piercing charge. Zhen Ying panicked, warning Lufan it was an extremely dangerous subdragon, but he calmly told her to stay composed and let him command. He ordered, "Xiaofei, activate Soul Surge." The skill began, Xiaofei gathering dragon energy, up to 360 stacks. Meanwhile, Lufan channeled ancestral energy into Xiaoyi, boosting all stats before shouting the order to attack. With endurance over 13,000, Xiaoyi charged, nullifying the subdragon's strike, then countered with the crushing blow exceeding 34,000 power. With 8 layers of Xiaofei's Soul Surge stacked, the strike ripped through the Steelbone Feilong's shoulder. The beast roared in agony, thrashing violently. Badly wounded, it shifted focus toward Lufan and Zhen Ying, charging in madness. Zhen Ying gritted her teeth, summoning her weapon, determined to help protect her teammate despite being weaker than a dragon master. She switched the Karma Flame Scythe to dark mode, triggering Sunburst Eruption, boosting her power by nearly 10%. Yet every blow was blocked by its Steelbone armor, leaving not even a scratch. Disheartened, she muttered her attacks were useless, but Lufan turned with a gentle smile to reassure her. He praised her effort just as the Steelbone Feilong's massive jaws crept behind him. Zhen Ying screamed a warning. Lufan spun instantly, weapon blazing, ordering Xiaofei to detach from Xiaoyi and assist directly. In a flash, his sword gleamed with light, cleaving the Steelbone Feilong cleanly in two. The system announced Xiaoyi leveled up to 20, unlocking the new skill Dragon Pressure. Lufan grinned, proud both dragons had evolved immensely. Zhen Ying leveled to 25, admiring the two beasts. Admitting Xiaofei at 15 was already terrifying, while Xiaoyi at 20 was nearly unbeatable. Suddenly she laughed, making Lufan ask what amused her. Mimicking Dao Xiaoming's tone, she joked. With dragons this strong, even walking a dog beside you could conquer the world. Making Lufan burst out laughing, Jianying giggled too, saying maybe spending too long with him made her talkative. Lufan nodded, complimenting her soft voice and lovely smile. Her ears flushed red as she shyly asked if her voice was truly nice. Lufan confirmed firmly. Deepening her blush, she lowered her head, murmuring she rarely talked or had friends, then quickly changed the subject to continue their journey. Lufan only smiled and nodded while the two dragons bickered playfully behind. Frowning, Lufan scolded the dragons to stop squabbling and fly faster. Meanwhile, atop the divine Felong tree, in a vast nest wrapped in white cocoons, a blue egg trembled as if about to hatch. Back with Lufan's group, they continued onward. Jianying cheerfully boasted Shed reached level 25. Lufan curiously asked if she'd unlocked a new weapon. She summoned her blade at once, introducing Manhua, a speed-type sword with the 1000-edge split skill, each edge holding 10% of its base attack. Lufan nodded approvingly, saying once upgraded, its power would be spectacular. Jianying smiled but silently wondered if her total damage could ever equal a single strike from Xiao Yi. She sighed softly, admitting the pressure of traveling with Lufan was immense. Yet she trusted him. If anyone else said those things, she'd never believe them. Pointing ahead, she urged him to hurry since the dragons had flown far ahead. They pressed deeper until they discovered a ruined camp littered with several decayed corpses. Jianying examined them, noting all were combat classes but died at different times. She suspected lurking monsters. Lufan instantly drew his wet, scanning the area and warning Jianying the place was likely occupied by a beast. Then, from above, a creature silently crawled down the trunk, sensing killing intent. Jianying dodged its pounce, making both whirl around. Before them loomed the bronze Felong, level 60, a nightmare-tier boss with defense-boosting skills and impenetrable bronze armor. Before they could react, another monster swooped down, a three-headed elemental Felong, level 65, able to attack with fire, ice, and lightning at once. Lufan cursed under his breath. Two bosses at once. Jianying grew tense. Realizing they were coordinating an ambush, all three dragon heads opened wide. Charging energy for a triple-layer spell, Xiao Yi darted up to interrupt, striking the center head successful, but barely scratching it. Jianying quickly explained the bronze Felong had activated its subarmor skill, granting massive defense to all allies. Thus, she concluded they had to slay the bronze Felong first to break the protection. Lufan just grinned confidently, telling her to ready Manhua had handle the armor. Then he dashed toward the bronze Felong, ordering Xiao Fei to become spirit light upon him while Xiao Yi shifted in apocalypse form. Closing in, he slashed fiercely but his blade bounced off, leaving no mark on the bronze shell. Meanwhile, the two remaining heads blasted magic at Xiao Yi, who twisted through crossing energy beams. Lufan glanced at Xiao Fei's icon. 4 dragon energy stacks gathered. He shouted, "Xiao Yi, use dragon pressure." Xiao Yi shot skyward, roaring thunderously as waves of dominance rippled out, forcing every creature to cower. The three-headed Felong froze midair, completely paralyzed. Jianying clutched her head, dizzy from the shockwave. Lufan urged, "Hang on, it's almost over." Then he saw Xiao Fei had reached 12 stacks and instantly commanded Soul Surge toward the bronze Felong. At the same moment, he unleashed Dragon Fang's strike, combining forces to finish the defensive boss. As the glow faded, Lufan smiled, armors down. "Xiao Yi, your turn." Xiao Yi screeched, diving straight at the three-headed Felong. Its claws crushed the middle head, shaking the ground violently. Lufan steadied the wobbling Jianying with a grin. "Careful." Xiao Yi is getting too excited again. Seeing Xiao Fei fly in to help, he reminded both beasts to cooperate. Not fool around, they nodded frantically. After the battle, he checked had reached level 28, Xiao Yi 22, and Xiao Fei 17. Jianying stayed silent, staring at Manhua's sword, now level 6 and herself 27. Feeling heavy-hearted, her title of Yumbai Prodigy meant little beside Lufan. Unexpectedly, Lufan placed a hand on her shoulder, explaining the three-headed dragon only died if all heads fell together, then suggested they search the camp. She nodded. As they walked, Lufan studied his system panel and thought, clearly planning something. Night gradually fell, the forest bathed in cold moonlight. Jianying carried a dish from the tent, calling, "Lufan, this is from sister and come eat," but he was nowhere to be seen, leaving a quiet emptiness that tightened her chest. She thought sadly that Lufan must have left because she was a burden. Meanwhile, Lufan was already following the divine map road alone, climbing toward the divine Felong tree's peak, silently apologizing to Jianying. For him, the Divinigrade map was the true goal of this journey. As he neared the colossal nest, blue cocoon suddenly cracked open, glowing brilliantly. A massive dragon burst free, roaring to shake the heavens. Soul Felong King, level 70, final nightmare boss, wielding elemental breath, soul strikes, and supreme dragon tongue. Lufan was startled but quickly called Xiao Yi and Xiao Fei. Smiling with resolve, knowing the level gap was no joke, he took a deep breath and said sternly, "Time to fight seriously." The echoing roar made Jianying at the mountain's base look up at the blazing treetop. She bowed sadly, thinking Lufan went alone because had grown tired of her. She blamed herself, thinking the genius of Yunbei should have realized the gap between her and a real dragon master. But Lufan's words echoed, "When Manhua reaches level 25 it'll be strong." His faith rekindled her spirit and determination. On the peak, Lufan was knocked back by the Soul Dragon King but steadied himself. He muttered, "Level 70 really is terrifying, even worse than Emperor Shi." Then he shouted, "Xiao Yi, prepare Magma Flame Burst," boosting all its stats. Obeying, Xiao Yi gathered fire essence and unleashed a blazing inferno over the divine tree's peak. The Soul Dragon King roared, then suddenly dived past Xiao Yi toward Lufan's back. It launched a soul strike from a blind angle, sending a black vortex surging forth. Lufan reacted fast, shouting, "Xiao Fi, eternal form." She transformed, shielding him and activating Life Pulse and Eternal Guard. Before he could command again, a rain of radiant swords fell from the sky, pinning the dragon down mid-spell. Seeing the familiar blades, Lufan gasped. Manhwa sword, nearby. Zhen Ying appeared, controlling one Hua's heavenly sword dance while shouting, "I'll cover you." She smiled confidently, "Don't worry, I know how to stay alive." Lufan glanced at her, eyes bright with trust. "Got it," he ordered. "Xiao Fi, unleash Life Pulse." Emerald light burst out, blessing all allies. The life resonance doubled the buffs through the blood pact, making Lufan grin in satisfaction. He lowered his voice. "Xiao Yi, finish it." Xiao Yi roared, charging with a furious combo assault. At the same time, Lufan chanted Dragon Tongue magic in sync with each strike. The Soul Dragon King roared, blasting away the surrounding flames. Suddenly, a red light shot up from the fire, radiating immense power that stunned Jian Ying. Lufan warned, "Dragon Tongue, unseal. It's casting the ultimate dragon magic." The red glow faded, revealing the dragon using Doomsday Fall, sacrificing all hate for a meteor-like destruction. Realizing its suicidal move, Lufan yelled, "Xiao Fi." Deafening explosions shook the skies, engulfing the dragon tree in flames. As the smoke cleared, a gentle green aura glimmered amid the ashes. The jade shield protected everyone. Xiao Fei's Eternal Guard absorbed it all while the boss self-destructed into XP rain. System Genian level 28, Manhwa sword level 10, Xiao Yi level 23, Xiao Fi level 18, Lufan level 29. He asked worriedly, "You okay?" Zhen Ying, she smiled with relief. "Thank goodness for Xiao Fei, I thought we were dead." Lufan nodded, patting Xiao Fei proudly, praising the shield. Then, seeing Xiao Yi's sulky face, he laughed. "Of course, your attack mattered too." After a while, Zhen Ying sighed that she finally understood the line between life and death. Lufan agreed it was his first fight with a level 70 boss. Beyond imagination, scratching his head, he awkwardly explained he didn't mean to leave her, just stumbled upon the boss. Zhen Ying smiled softly. "I know you'd never abandon a teammate." She looked at Lufan firmly. "I remember what you once said. You're strong," she added, "but I won't let you fight alone anymore." As the secret realm faded, a golden chest appeared. Lufan opened it to find 3 legendary items. First was the Soaring Dragon Wings level 60 legendary gear enabling flight and Dragon Tongue Unseal. He thought he could replicate Doomsday Fall someday. Second was the Dragon Seal Mount Relic allowing fusion with his dragon at level 30. He grinned, picturing himself as a dragon knight in Shan Lion Nation. Lastly, he checked the Dragon Summon Bone, a mighty consumable with 3 uses which he regretted losing after use. Just as he stored them, Zhen Ying urgently messaged, asking if he'd finished looting and to check on Xiao Fei. He rushed over to find Xiao Fei lowering herself into the glowing life stream. Then green light spread, merging in the massive dragon tree. Zhen Ying gasped, guessing it was saving the tree. Lufan realized life energy only affected friendly beings. Could the dragon tree actually be alive? Just then, vines coiled together, forming a bud at his knee height. The bud cracked, revealing a quest seed to heal the dragon tree. Slay the Devourer dragon and dip it in its blood. Reward recognition of the dragon race. He estimated a dragon king level foe meant hundreds of missions, no time limit, something to tackle later. Lufan praised Xiao Fei for discovering the hidden dragon tree restoration quest. She cheered excitedly. Suddenly, he took out the dragon summon bone. Joking, "Can you eat this?" Making Xiao Fei stare hard. Seeing the misunderstanding, he hurriedly explained it might absorb item traits via natural assimilation. Yet he shook his head, fearing it wouldn't work, but before he finished, Xiao Fei gulped it down happily. Both froze. Jian Ying wide-eyed, never expecting it to eat an epic item like a snack. Moments later, the skill board flashed assimilation successful. It gained a permanent ability to summon 2 Dragon Kings. Lufan shouted with joy. Immediately, Xiao Fei tested the new skill. Seconds later, 2 miniature Soul Dragon Kings of her level appeared behind her. Zhen Ying exclaimed, "The boss just became a pet." Lufan laughed, though shrunken. Xiao Fei now had her own underlings. Zhen Ying muttered, "A dragon pet with its own dragon pet's unbelievable." She suggested returning. Everyone was exhausted. Lufan agreed, telling her to go ahead while he handled something. So he opened the map to pinpoint his next destination. It was Villa No, one at Longdu Academy, where he planned something special. Lufan placed a blue egg before Xiao Yi and Xiao Fei. Speaking seriously, he reminded Xiao Yi not to bully anymore and told Xiao Fei to be braver. They must learn to protect each other. Lufan smiled slightly, saying this was a good chance. "Listen carefully to my instructions. This will be a new family member, so treat them kindly, no jealousy allowed." Then he placed his hand on the egg and chanted a dragon spell to begin the ritual. But time passed and the egg stayed silent. No reaction at all. Lufan sighed, opened the system, and saw only 2 dragon contract slots. The third needed level 30 and a second-class advancement. Seeing his level 29, he sighed again. Guess it's back to the venomous forest for grinding. That night, he told everyone to sleep, but the 2 little ones kept circling the egg, chirping and teasing until he gave up and went to bed. Early next morning, Tanthu and Dao Xiaomang came to Villa No. 1, knocking loudly to wake him. Lufan opened the door groggily, confused, as Tanthu handed him a tablet. Looking anxious, he frowned, thinking it was nothing big, just a post, but followed them inside anyway. Tanthu explained someone spread rumors he quit the exam out of fear the mocking post had gone viral at school. He asked, "What's Fengyun Pavilion?" and was told it's a new elite squad of top players. Lufan said coolly, "I'm the school's #1, Zhang Fengyun is the people's #1, and he even vowed to wreck Villa No. 1 after the finals." Lufan only smirked, thinking the guy was fame-hungry, while his friends fumed on his behalf. Lufan's eyes turned cold. If they want to fight, he'll give them one. Then he grabbed Tanthu's tablet and started typing rapidly. He posted, "Lufan, accept Fengyun Pavilion's challenge. Venulongdu Academy VIP Arena." Meanwhile, Su Jing, the forbidden mage of Fengyun Pavilion, nearly jumped out of her seat, yelling for brother Jiang. In the training hall, Zhang Fengyun, the blindfolded dark warrior, froze mid-move, smirking coldly. 2 teammates rushed to spar with him, and he unleashed his skill. Aura surging, countless shadow clones erupted, attacking all at once. They panicked, shouting, "Wait, Jiang bro, it's just training." But he ignored them, ordering his clones to knock everyone out instantly. Removing his blindfold, he turned to Su Jing. "What did Lufan say?" Su Jing quickly handed over the tablet. "He just posted a reply. Look." Zhang Fengyun read it, sneering, "That fool's brave, challenging our whole squad alone." He tossed the tablet back, saying coldly, "Spread the word after the finals. The arena will be his regret." Su Jing was stunned, but Zhang replied firmly, "Gather everyone, he wants the whole team." "Well, oblige." His gaze sharpened. "He'll show Lufan who truly deserves to be #1 title or not." The next morning, Lufan's reply blew up the forums. He openly called Fengyun Pavilion trash and challenged them all, shocking everyone. Henki brought breakfast, advising gently, "Xiao Fan, that was rash. Know yourself and your enemy." Dao Xiaomeng agreed, saying he should show up so people see the real him. Tanthu worried he was too famous now if seen near Zhang Fengyun. Gossip would explode. Henki laughed, saying just wear a disguise, leaving Lufan speechless. Soon, the group reached the stands. Dao Xiaomeng glanced around to see a huge crowd gathered by Fengyun Pavilion's arena. Henki laughed, proudly showing Lufan his full disguise coat, shades, cap, mask guaranteed anonymity, leaving Lufan sighing in defeat. The golden bell rang, announcing the freshman semifinal about to begin as 12 teams entered the arena. Suddenly, Lufan stood up, surprising the group. He said he was bored and would stroll around, telling them to call him when the match ended. From the front row, assistant Shengming quietly watched him leave. Lost in thought, he recalled his recent talk with the headmaster after reporting the feud between Lufan and Zhang Fengyun. The headmaster calmly said it was a freshman matter, no need to escalate. Shengming insisted the duel should be stopped, fearing Lufan might lose control. He even mentioned Chen Zi still hospitalized from their last clash. The headmaster replied serenely, "Don't worry, what matters is that Longdus envoy will soon arrive to assess Lufan's eligibility for the national trial." Shengming was stunned. The trial had been moved up and reported that Lufan was nearly done with his second-class change. An envoy Qianshan wasn't strict. The headmaster chuckled, saying that info was outdated. The current envoy was a guy in Truongfeng. Shengming's face changed instantly. He remembered that man's past feud with Lufan and Jinzhou. Demoted because of it, surely he bore a grudge? Bowing anxiously, Shengming apologized, fearing Lufan would be in danger during the upcoming evaluation. The headmaster nodded deeply. "Lufan was chosen by me. You know what to do, right?" Shengming bowed in understanding, promising to pour more resources into helping Lufan finish his second class soon to offset his rank gap. Then asked about the duel. The headmaster laughed heartily. "Intrigued? How could I miss such fun? Of course I'll watch." Meanwhile, at the Longdu Battle Arena scoring zone, a student was hurled out, shocking the crowd with the 100-point ring's brutal difficulty. Some guessed the room's owner was a disguised second-class master. The defeated student trembled, saying no one could beat that person. All eyes turned, curious who it was. Inside, Lufan dusted off his hands, sighing that these fights were dull. Had rather grind levels in the spider forest. Suddenly, the door opened and a figure stepped in gracefully. He looked up to see a white-haired girl smiling gently, asking if he had time for one match. Lufan respectfully called her senior. She giggled. "You're so polite, then it'll go easy." Lufan calmly replied, "No need to hold back, go all out." "Very well," she murmured, raising her hand as fire essence gathered into a blazing sphere. The sight startled Lufan. The energy was terrifyingly strong. He instantly realized this opponent was anything but ordinary. Before the thought finished, she vanished from view, reappearing behind him, her fiery trident thrust forward with fierce momentum unlike anyone before. Her voice rang out, "You should get serious too." Lufan spun and blocked in a flash, countering at lightning speed, yet the impact's force pushed him back several steps, cracking the stone floor beneath him. His eyes hardened. Her true strength was astonishing. The white-haired girl didn't pursue, just covered her mouth and smiled. Nice defense. But you still haven't hit me yet. She tilted her head teasingly, afraid of hurting me, holding back like that. I'll just have to teach you properly. Lufan took a deep breath and nodded seriously. I understand. They clashed again, fire and sword-light colliding violently, shaking the entire room. Outside, students peeked through the glass, amazed. The bold white-haired girl lasted over 2 minutes in that notorious room. Just then, the school speakers announced the end of Jiang Fengyun's semifinal match. On the main stage, cheers erupted. Jiang Fengyun and Xu Jing had won. The stands exploded in excitement. Jiang Fengyun smiled at the roar while Xu Jing whispered that Lufan had secretly come to watch. He raised a finger skyward, smiling challengingly. Lufan, you can't dodge tomorrow's match. It'll show you true difference. The stands chanted his name. Energy boiling. Dao Xiaomang, annoyed, dragged Tanthu to leave, but when she turned, Lufan was gone. Tanthu panicked while Henki said calmly had left earlier. Inside the duel room, Lufan was thrown back hard, his shades and hat flying off, revealing his face. Panting, he marveled at her power. She could have easily crushed him, but instead guided his mistakes. Who was she really? The white-haired girl lifted his fallen hat with her trident tip, smiling. Your defense is not bad, she added. 15 minutes from stumbling to reading my moves, you've improved fast. Then she tilted her head. Too bad your stamina's weak, train that up. Stepping closer, she squinted playfully. With a face like this, why hide it? Who are you avoiding? The closeness flustered Lufan. He stumbled backward and fell. Just then, his phone rang, saving him from the awkward moment. Sorry, gotta take this, he said quickly, nodding. Yes, you'll be right back. Turning back, he scratched his head sheepishly. Thanks a lot. I learned tons today. Can I get your contact? Senior, she chuckled, teasing. Already asking girls for info on day one. Bold move. Lufan waved frantically. Nope, I just want to learn more. No need, she replied softly, eyes sparkling. If fate allows, open a score room like today, I'll find you. Then she left. Lufan stood frozen, thinking she was too young to be a teacher, yet too strong to be a normal student. The system flash battle complete, reward 100 score points. Realizing she hadn't claimed any points, Lufan dashed out, shouting, wait, senior! He bumped into people, getting scolded but ignored them, chasing the white-haired figure. Thoughts swirled, was she really from the academy, or something else? When a familiar voice called from afar, Henki waved, Xiao Fan, over here. Dao Xiaomang mocked, what? Already flirting with seniors? Lufan sighed in defeat, walking toward them, mind still on that mysterious girl. The next day, the stands were packed, everyone eager for the real final between Lufan and Fengyun Pavilion. In the arena, Jiang Fengyun and his teammates waited impatiently, ready to drag Lufan from Villano. One if needed. Just then, the bell rang and the loudspeaker shouted, Lufan has arrived. Fengyun Pavilion immediately tightened formation, aura surging, ready for battle. Lufan strolled in casually, munching bread, mumbling, let's start quick, I've got stuff to do later. Jiang Fengyun smirked, nice entrance right on time. Lufan shrugged, call your whole team up, no need to waste time. A bald guy lunged angrily, but Jiang Fengyun stopped him. Eyes cold and locked on Lufan, he said Essily, since you think you're above everyone, let's bet 7,000 score points. Lufan smirked, oh right, forgot we should wager. He pulled out his card, the system flashed wager 17,642 points. Fengyun Pavilion froze. Xu Jing paled, whispering, brother Jiang, that's too much, we done have enough. Shut up, Jiang barked, hiding his panic. The crowd gasped. 17,000 points could fund 3 or 4 years of academy life. Jiang gritted his teeth, shouting, bet everything. The crowd roared, follow brother Jiang, gather 17,000. Lufan just cracked his neck and smiled. Done. Then let's begin. Jiang leaned to Xu Jing, his summoning a dragon seal him. Xu Jing nodded, raising her weapon to cast. Fengyun Pavilion. Positions. The shout echoed across the arena. Dozens of magic circles flared, everyone ready to strike. Xu Jing unleashed a binding spell, chains of magic wrapping around Lufan. Within 5 seconds, the whole team attacked at once. A rain of skills lit up the arena. Jiang Fengyun charged, shouting, don't let him summon. Amid the chaos, Lufan merely sighed, clenched his fist. The magic chains shattered like paper. He casually blocked Jiang Fengyun's strike, leaving him stunned. He broke free. In that instant of shock, Lufan grabbed his collar, then spun and slammed him hard into the ground. Dust exploded everywhere. The audience gasped. Fengyun Pavilion froze, unable to react. Xu Jing panicked, casting hardening spells, then fired ranged attacks. Explosions thundered, smoke covering the entire arena. When it cleared, Lufan stood tall, 1 foot on Jiang Fengyun's head, voice cold. So this is the number one. Xu Jing trembled, whispering, impossible, I used my full power. Lufan smirked, not your fault. I've got Dragon Master blood, your load, your spells can't even scratch me. Jiang roared, ripping off his blindfold and activating his ultimate. Countless shadow clones burst forth, surrounding Lufan. Fengyun Pavilion screamed in excitement. Brother Jiang's ultimate has done for. Only Xu Jing lowered her head. Uneasy just how strong is he? Lufan raised his hand, fire essence swirling, smiling confidently. Cool move. but let me return the favor with something Chen Qingji never saw. Jiang froze, shouting, his summoning a dragon. Seconds later, Zai appeared above, in doomsday form, wings blazing with infernal fire. A massive wave of fire erupted, erasing every shadow clone instantly. Flames swept the arena. Feng Yun Pavilion scattered, screaming, "Run! It's a real dragon! I can take this!" Su Jing fled, yelling, "Brother Jiang, retreat!" But Jiang stood frozen, staring at Z, an entirely different, legendary dragon. Lufan walked forward calmly. "Get up, Zhang Fengyun," he signaled. "Now it's my turn to attack." Z roared, sending a shockwave that blasted away the dust. All members of Feng Yun Pavilion fell under fear and stun effects, clutching their heads and crying, "It hurts! Spare us!" Jiang Fengyun staggered, body numb and mind blank. What the hell, how can anyone win this? He swayed, vision darkening, then collapsed unconscious in the arena. Lufan crouched, picked up the point card, and said calmly, "Now you know who's number one, right? System Lufan, 12,941 points." He turned away, smirking. "Done here, let's go." Zeye, still having business. Zeye shrank in her dragon girl form, circled him once, and vanished. Moments later, Lufan was back in the score room. On the phone, Tando said the team had cheered for him and asked if he was hurt. Lufan laughed, saying he was fine and had earned a pile of points to share later. Hanging up, he turned toward the door, delighted to see the white-haired girl appear. She smiled. "I dropped by since I had time, but from what you said, sounds like you were waiting for me." "Of course," Lufan replied, eyes bright. "Fighting anyone else is boring. Only battling you helps me learn after all. You're over level 70. Not a normal person." Her smile faltered. She glanced at the Lovey.100 room occupied by Lovey.70 user sign outside. Sharp kid, she thought. Meanwhile, the Feng Yun Pavilion review team sighed in relief. No one was seriously hurt. One examiner said softly, "The boy held back didn't go overboard." Another nodded, "Power with restraint, rare quality." Back in the duel room, the beautiful white-haired senior twirled her trident, fending anger, trying to dig up my background. "Kid," Lufan waved frantically. "Nope, just your level 70, so probably not a student." He mused, "You look like an upperclassman, but strength-wise, probably faculty." She laughed. "Fine, just call me senior sister. It sounds nicer." Then she glanced at him. "Not hiding your face today. You look much better like this." "Seen his fluster," she said sternly. "Stop prying about me. If you want to meet again, don't set the room too high, I won't come." Lufan forced a smile. A bit regretful, had planned to raise it to level 80. She suddenly asked, "That counterattack you used on Jiang Fengyun, that was my technique, wasn't it?" Lufan blinked. "You watched that match?" "Of course," she replied with a teasing scold. "Summoning a dragon mid-duel. You scared half the arena. Still, your reflexes were impressive." Lufan scratched his head. "Thanks, but I've still got a lot of weaknesses, especially close combat." "Naturally," she said and immediately lunged, striking before he could react, landing a clean hit. Lufan yelped, "What was that for?" She sneered playfully. "You've improved. But don't fake humility to show off." Lufan protested. "Nope, I mean it. You're strong and kind and even gave me 100 points. I just want to learn more. I'll even pay tuition if needed." She burst out laughing. "Smooth talker. Keep your tuition, bring me food from that cook friend of yours instead." "Deal." Lufan cheered, secretly thinking she was adorable for someone so fierce. She pointed her trident at him. "Since you waited for me, come on, show me what you've learned." "Yes, ma'am." He attacked first, faster and sharper than before. The beautiful senior blocked and commented, "Yo, much quicker now." She smiled. "If you manage to land one hit today, I'll give you a gift. A new weapon," she added. "That King Mo dragon scale sword doesn't suit you anymore. Use something like mine." Lufan nodded. "True. Though I'll miss its special effects. It's been with me a long time. Besides weapons, what else do you want?" The beautiful Jay softly asked. "An item that removes level limits." Lufan replied honestly. Jay froze, her gaze darkening. "Do you even know how rare and precious that is?" Instantly, he lunged to attack, scolding himself for asking, shouting, "Die!" After the fight, Lufan dragged his battered body home, groaning while Henka massaged him. "That beautiful Jay's my nemesis, can't land a single hit." Henka frowned. "She doesn't seem like a normal teacher," while Tanlu exclaimed, "Lufan, you're trending on the forum again." She played the fight video for everyone. Comments exploded. Henka chuckled. "Guess the whole school knows you won again?" "Huh." But Jane Ying warned, "Not good. You replace Feng Yunji as the new thorn in everyone's side." Lufan only smirked, used to that feeling, and focused on his own goal. Henka then asked, "So what's your real goal?" Lufan stayed silent. "In a dungeon full of venomous spiders." Jen Ying fought beside him. "So your goal's leveling up? I thought you wanted to follow her." After defeating the final monster, Lufan hit level 30, unlocking the second job advancement. The team didn't rest and headed straight to the advancement hall within the dungeon. Unexpectedly, a crowd of fangirls rushed him, forcing Lufan to vanish using stealth and panic. Minutes later, he returned fully covered. The crowd blinked. "Gone already? Number one for a reason." Tando sighed in relief, while Lufan apologized. "Do I have to dress like this just to go outside now?" Dao Xiaomang joked jealously. Wish I had that problem, while Jin Ying worried. There's no data on the second class of Dragon Tamer. Tantho was thrilled. You're making history, Lufan thought. No guidance this time, only myself to trust. Lost in thought, Dao Xiaomang patted him. Lufan, we're at the advancement hall. Inside, he reassured everyone. I've got a direction. This ritual solo wait for my good news. The long due system confirmed is id. Second stage advancement ritual ready. Student Lufan, step onto the platform. As he stepped up, his heart pounded so different from his first awakening system chimed. No data found for Dragon Tamer. During the process, it confirmed no existing records, but he could still manually search for guidance. A blessing sound echoed. The advancement ritual officially began. 3 beams of light flashed, each representing a different development path. First, Dragon Eye Priest support type, boosting endurance and healing. Empowering Dragon Pets, a full-time backline master. Next, Dragon Rune Mage True Spellcaster, focused on speed and mind, using draconic magic to control or absorb pet skills. Lastly, Blazing Dragon Warrior upgraded melee fighter, relying on strength and stamina, can dragonify for power and defense. Seeing the options, Lufan hesitated. Mage for range, warrior for brute force dragonification was tempting. Suddenly, the system trembled, revealing a secret 4th branch hidden specialization visible only to qualified users. It was the Dragon Knight, an unrecorded class focused on agility, syncing perfectly with Dragon Pets for balanced offense and defense without limits. The choice was clear. Lufan smiled firmly, boosting stats post-advancement, unlocking 3 contracts, and evolving his skills into combo attacks with his dragons. Outside, time crawled. Most had left. Only his friends stayed, worried he hadn't returned. Xiaomang fretted. What's taking so long? Did something go wrong? His voice trembling. Henka soothed. Calm down. This is Xiaofang's most crucial moment. Zhen Ying nodded gravely. This choice could reshape the academy's class limits. Suddenly, the hall doors burst open, light flaring to announce the ritual's result. Moments later, Lufan stepped out smiling. Sorry for the wait, he said, making Xiaomang gasp. Dragon Knight, just the name sounds epic. Henkai asked curiously, does this class need its own dragon? Lufan grinned. Yeah, I chose it since I once got a dragon seal from Fei Long Lingyuan. He added, once Xiaoyi and Xiaofei reach level 30, a new contract unlocks. The Starstream will be my next ally. Excitement surging. At Villa 1, a familiar figure waited. Lufan was shocked. Senior, why are you here? Xiaomang nudged him. So this is the lady who beat you up. You never said she was this gorgeous. Lufan blushed while the beauty laughed. Jiang Henka squinted. Weren't you the demon chef? The beauty blinked. Yup. Your senior knows me. She smiled. I'm here to discuss something with her. Mind if I borrow Xiaofam for a bit? The group froze before the beauty laughed. Just a small errand in the city. Don't overthink it. Henka chuckled. Go ahead. No need to be formal. Thanks for guiding Xiaofam these days. Without another word, the beauty tugged Lufam's hand, smiling. Let's go. Don't make me wait. Zhen Ying silently watched, eyes sharp until the two vanished from sight. On the way, Lufan got a text from Tantho that senior isn't really a long-due teacher. Be careful. In the car, he glanced at the beauty, wanting to ask. She laughed. Why so quiet? Afraid of me? Where are we going? Why leave campus? He asked suspiciously. She winked. To buy you a gift, of course. Lufan blinked. The lever removal item I mentioned before. She smiled wordlessly. Without further talk, she drove straight to the Qianhe auction house. Upon arrival, Lufan hesitated. Senior, don't tell me. She nodded. A rare enchantment scroll's on sale today. Exactly what you need, he worried. The vice principal paid a fortune for one at Fei Long Lingyu, and this must cost even more. She burst out laughing. Where's that fiery spirit now? Relax, I'm richer than you think. Hearing that, Lufan clenched his fists, vowing silently, I'll repay this debt, I swear. Minutes later, the auction officially began. The first item, a rare lever removal enchantment scroll, started at 95 million long coins. Prices skyrocketed. 125, 185, then 200 million, leaving Lufan dizzy at the speed. The host called, 230 million. Any higher? The beauty leaned over, whispering, in auctions, hesitation kills. Strike fast if you want it. Just as she was about to bid, another voice rang out, 300 million long coins. The hall erupted, all eyes turning toward the new bidder. The beauty frowned. Jingzhou, princess of Taiji Kingdom, so she wants it too. This'll be exhausting. Lufan blinked. Senior, you know her? She smirked. My intel's everywhere. I know all about you and Jingzhou. She whispered. Today I'll help you vent no matter the price. Jingzhou won't win. Then shouted, 400 million. The hall shook. Jingzhou slammed the table. Who dares challenge me? The beauty coolly smiled. Changed my mind. 500 million. Her voice oozed provocation. Silence fell. No one had ever seen someone outbid themselves. Lufan winced, heart squeezed tight. 3 gavel strikes later, 500 million, sold to the lady, the host declared. Moments after, staff escorted them to a private room to collect the item. A stunning woman entered, chuckling. Knew it was you, only you'd dare bid like that. She teased. You always spend crazy money here, so I'll treat you well. Then eyed Lufan. And who's this? My junior. The beauty replied coolly, I bought this scroll for him. The woman grinned. Little brother. Him, owner of Shinhee Auction House, call me Sister Do, she said. Need rare items? Find me. Lufan bowed gratefully. She laughed. I'm also her sister-in-law. This place is cornered by my husband and me. Lufan froze, thinking, no wonder she bid so boldly, it's her family's house, and smiled weakly. Realizing his plan to repay 480 million sounded knave. His worries melted when the beauty handed him the scroll once activated. His Skywing Dragon King soul surpassed level 60. Dunathu smiled. Found anything for your picture book yet? The beauty swiped her black card, sighing. Not yet, but I will. Natha beamed. Come back anytime. Lufan pondered. The beauty teased. Xiao fam, think how you repay that 500 mil. Hanji's waiting for me to return you unharmed. You schemer. Ignoring her joke, he asked curiously, what's this picture book you mentioned? She opened her tablet. This why I brought you here, she said firmly. You're gonna make money. Simple as that. Nietha laughed. What she earns here is pocket change. The real treasure's worth can't be measured. Lufam scanned the list, puzzled. These are records, not sales. The beauty nodded. Right record, any relic in the 100 Treasures album. Chiani appraises and pays you a cut. Nathu added, it's also promo for my auction house, but yes, you can sell for real if you wish. Lufam calculated, 3% of appraised value, not bad. Might even repay 500 mil soon. He took out the Skywing Dragon King soul and asked Dunathu to appraise it. Natha gasped, a legendary grade Skywing soul. Level 60 worth at least 2 billion long coins. You get 3% 60 million. Easy money. Lufam laughed, 60 mil, but still far from the debt. Then winked, I've got something rarer than that. He placed the Starstream dragon emblem on the table. Nihetha blinked, you're a dragon tamer from Nan province, right? She confirmed. The beauty was stunned. Lufam, you have another dragon besides the black dragon. He nodded slightly, regretting that both Skywing Kings had been eaten by Xiaofi. Dunathu fell silent, then said seriously, if the dragon soul is top tier, this emblem surpasses everything. She trembled. I take back what I said, this item's beyond our valuation system. Lufan blinked, then can it still be entered in the album? Nathu gripped his shoulders, nearly pleading. Please register in the 100 Treasures album. Shinhe's name will echo nationwide. The beauty laughed. Worldwide. Actually, excited, Niethu offered, how about this come monthly? Take whatever you want. Any price. My treat. Deal. Lufam grinned. Sure, let's log both items now. When does the discount start? Today. Nathu cheered. He laughed. Perfect. I just need one freebie. Happily reclaiming the zero-cost level removal scroll. The beauty raised a brow. I never said you had to repay 500 mil right now. Lufam smiled coolly, just using Sister Do's perk. Nathu chuckled. Come again anytime, Shinhee welcomes you. Moments later, the 100 Treasures album updated. The Starstream dragon emblem instantly shocked the whole network. Viewers buzzed. A real dragon egg, the one that destroyed a nation. Name your price. Phones rang nonstop as news spread like wildfire. Lufam gawked. Sister Do works fast. Shin is nationwide famous now. The beauty tilted her chin toward the rushing crowd. Save the cheers unless you want to camp here tonight. After weaving through chaos, they finally escaped. The beauty sighed. Phew, safe. My sister-in-law hit the jackpot. Then teased. Dummy, you should have asked for 3 or 4 items. Lufam chuckled awkwardly. That'd be overkill. Then looked around. Huh? Where's your car? The beauty winked mischievously, pointing to a huge motorcycle nearby. Right here. Lufam blinked, but that's not the one we came in. She laughed. The car was my sister-in-law's. This beast's mine. He thought, surprised. Didn't expect her to ride bikes herself. No mounts. No chauffeur. Pure freedom. Still standing there. Hop on and hold tight. I drive fast, and I don't pick up fallen passengers. She laughed loudly. Lufam scrambled on before he could grip. The bike shot off. Wait, I'm not holding, he yelled. She laughed. Second job and still scared of speed. Your agility stat must suck. Lufam blushed. You know me too well, just advanced, and you already know everything. She replied coolly. You've got 3 pet slots, 1 for the black dragon. So why not use another for the unhatched egg? She suddenly glanced back. Wait, don't tell me that Starstream egg's your third. He panicked. Eyes on the road. Please, she burst out laughing. Good grief. Kid, you're like heaven's favorite. Others struggle for 1, and you've got 3. Lufam seized the moment. Senior, why help me so much? When will I know who you really are? She grew serious. Not yet, you must first pass your trial. Trial? Lufam asked. She nodded. A long-due voice coming to assess your qualification for the national exam. You must earn his recognition. She frowned. Has over level 70. I fear hell target you. Lufam grinned. So you were sent to assist me? Huh, he declared boldly. No matter his level, with your guidance, he should be the one praying. She burst out laughing. Cocky, aren't you? Make sure he's truly convinced when the time comes. Checking the time. She startled. It's late, gotta get you home. I promised the villa girls would return you before nightfall. Hold tight, she yelled. Speeding up as the wind roared, Lufam summoned his Skywing Dragon soul and grabbed her hand. Senior, hold on to me. Let me take you flying home, he said, lifting her into the sky. City lights fading below. Moments later, they landed on a wide road. He gently set her down. Sure you don't need a lift. She smiled. I'm good now, off you go. Good boy. He bowed politely and left, leaving the beauty watching his back. She chuckled. Silly kid, any other guy would be insisted on escorting me home. Her smile softened, but that silly side's kinda cute, then vanished as she noticed the bike still there. That idiot, she hissed. Meanwhile, flying home, Lufan had grown used to merging with his soul wings after resting. He began incubating the Starstream Dragon Egg. Xiao Yi, Xiao Fi, ready? He ordered sternly. Last time failed this time. Follow my lead exactly. Got it. Both dragons nodded. Lufan focused his draconic energy into the egg. Starstream, my third dragon, come forth. Within seconds, the shell cracked, light bursting like a night sky of stars. A unique baby dragon emerged. System Starstream Dragon 001. Level 1. Power 795. Agility 276. Spirit 109. Endurance 370. With skill Starflare, Stellar Scale, and Starveiler pure offense and defense mastery. Staring in awe, Lufan murmured, this one's pure physical might, its base stats already double Xiao. Yes. He calculated. Level 20, even unsupported. Its strength could exceed 10,000. Absurd. Studying closely, he saw Xiao Yi wasn't pure melee but balanced just like his Dragon Knight path. He analyzed further. Stellar Scale was a defensive counter skill, while Starveiler granted endless endurance for long fights. Though mainly physical, the Starstream Dragon had magical traits. Its Shattered Star skill needed testing. While thinking, Xiao Yi grabbed an eggshell piece to chew, but Starstream smacked it away, making Xiao's eyes flare red in rage. Hey, stop fighting. It's naming time for your new sister. Lufan waved, since you're Xiao Yin and Xiao Fei. Shelby Xiaoxing. Before he finished, Xiao Fi hit, and Xiao Yi growled in protest. Come on, it's just a name. He groaned. He sighed. Fine, temporary name then, well, change it later. Okay. Then softly, Xiaoxing. Sound good? Only a cold stare answered, making him mumble. So picky, let's just hope they don't wreck the place. Meanwhile, in Wanlijia's level 6070 training zone, the air was tense. Jin Qinghan, top fighter of Taiji Kingdom, had just finished training when his sister Jing Zhou called. Got it, he said flatly. Hanging up, a teammate asked. Trouble. Hen sighed. She wants me to avenge her again, so annoying. Two girls nearby asked. Jing Zhou, she's studying abroad in Long Country, right? What happened? She said some brat beat her up not once, but twice. He grimaced. That kid's sister's still childish. I spoiled her too much. Hen muttered, ignoring the massive beast rising behind him. The bespectacled teammate asked, so you're really heading to Long Country? Of course, Jin Qinghan replied, striking so hard the ground split open. Black mist rose as the monster roared, then crumbled to ash. As her brother, I'll handle her troubles myself, and said firmly, but first, I'll finish the national exam and claim the last piece of the curse forge set, then I'll go to Long Country. His eyes narrowed coldly. Not just to help her, I want to see who Long Country's representative is. This year's national champion will belong to Taiji Kingdom, he declared. His teammates laughed, shouting, with Qinghan fighting, victories guaranteed. Back in Long Country, a peaceful week passed. Lufan was no longer harassed by Feng Yun Pavilion or Jing Zhou, life returning to normal. Under strict training, his three baby dragons leveled up fast, their team's power skyrocketing. Zhen Ying had completed his second advancement, becoming a sword dancer, while Tanthu and Xiao Dao had also met their conditions after long effort. Outside the ceremony hall, Zhen Ying was surprised by Tanthu's choice. You picked sword dancer too? I thought you'd go support. Tanthu smiled. I did plan that, but since Xiao Fei handles healing, I switched to offense. My light spells are way stronger now. Lufan laughed. Perfect. Our team now has physical, magic, buffs, and debuffs only Daozi hasn't advanced yet. As he spoke, Xiao Dao emerged from the hall, glowing with joy. Tanthu rushed up. So, success. Xiao Dao grinned mysteriously. Guess what class I took? Zhen Ying frowned. Wait, was there a hidden branch in the second advancement? Xiao Dao twirled her blade. Splashing water. Bingo! Water Lotus Swordsman, half sword, half magic, controls water too. Lufan gasped. There are hidden classes even in second advancement. Xiao Dao puffed up proudly. Of course, super rare, lower odds than first time ones. Talent, baby. Lufan teased. So you picked it cause you've never made any waves in the team. Huh, she flared. You brat. Get over here. Just then, Lufan's phone rang. The vice principal announced the envoy's arrival. He had to report to the arena immediately. Without delay, Lufan and his teammates hurried to Longdu Academy's battle hall. While waiting, Teacher Han whispered, the envoy's name is Guyan Trongfeng, Holy Shield Knight. Level 76. Word is not fond of you. Lufan frowned, recalling the earlier warning, eyes fixed on the stage where a figure cloaked head Toto held a glowing staff. It was the Skybreaker staff, the top-ranked weapon in the 100 Treasures album. He quietly asked Teacher Han, do you know who that is? She replied, our new headmaster, new meaning 2 years in. Rumor said the headmaster had advanced 4 times, their power unfathomable. Even their voice magically disguised, no one knew their gender or level. Their presence proved envoy Guyan Trongfeng wasn't ordinary. As she finished, a towering figure entered, aura oppressive, voice booming. "Who is the headmaster here?" Vice Principal Thang Min stepped forward politely. "Welcome. Envoy, am the Vice Principal of Longdu Academy." Nguyen Truongfeng's cold tone cut in, demanding the headmaster, saying if they lacked authority, not to waste his time. Then his gaze swept the stands. "Are all the seated candidates present?" he asked bluntly. The headmaster stayed silent, merely nodding in acknowledgement, but that arrogant attitude made Vice Principal Thang Min bristle. He sternly said only Lufan had been nominated. The air grew heavy. Students murmured as the vice principal explained the envoy wanted to choose himself. Lufan and Cohen exchanged a knowing look. This was a real gamble. At that moment, Nguyen Truongfeng spun around, voice icy, asking if they decided in his stead. Then he sneered, saying he'd reviewed Lufan's file. Quite an interesting name. He strode toward him, stating his rank level 32, top freshman of Nam Province. Up close, he taunted, "Someone so favored, do you even grasp the struggle of others?" He continued, "Can your measly level 32 handle level 50 or 60 elites from other nations?" Under the provocation, Lufan stood silent, feeling the killing intent thickening around him. Nguyen Truongfeng smirked coldly. "You'll personally see if you're qualified." Instantly, he drew his sword and lunged like lightning. Luckily, Lufan reacted in time, weapon flashing up to block the sudden strike. The arena erupted in chaos. Faculty protested, saying the envoy was going too far, yet he didn't stop, replying coldly, "No caution, I'm just doing my duty." His voice thundered, "Long Country's representative must be strong enough to crush 22 nations. Weaklings aren't worthy." Amid the fierce assault, Lufan could only defend, mind racing to counter without harming bystanders. Nguyen Truongfeng roared, "Show your true power. Prove why I was stripped of my command to become envoy." The fight intensified, each blow thunderous. Lufan's defense faltered, his weapon sent flying, just as Nguyen Truongfeng raised his blade for the final strike. Unseen force halted it midair. The headmaster's calm voice echoed, "Envoy, aren't you getting a bit too excited?" With a wave of his staff, he declared, "Let's move this test elsewhere." Fairly, light engulfed them, teleporting all three to the Academy's central arena. The vast field shimmered. The headmaster smiled. "Now, envoy, test him to your heart's content." Nguyen Truongfeng snorted, "Makes no difference where," then turned to Lufan, "Show me everything you've got." Everyone watching knew this test had never been fair. Lufan steadied his breath. If the envoy wanted to see his full power, he'd oblige. Chanting softly, he blinked behind his foe and summoned Xiao Yi, his strongest melee beast. The black dragon, same one that once humiliated Princess Jin, appeared, roaring mightily as in the viral video. Nguyen Truongfeng sneered inwardly, "Even a black dragon's just a toy before a level 76 like me." He gathered energy, manifesting a massive shield on his left arm, aura surging. Cohen watched tensely as the envoy barked, "Witness a true envoy's might." As Lufan commanded, Xiao Yi roared, unleashing crushing pressure across the arena. Though slowed and briefly stunned, Nguyen Truongfeng smirked, dismissing it as a meaningless level gap. Thang Min paled, recalling when Lufan used that move to destroy Feng Yun Pavilion, but the headmaster merely smiled. "Just keep watching." Nguyen Truongfeng sneered, saying that trick only scared schoolkids. Not him, but right after, his body froze and knees buckled. The Dragonmite's fear effect hit, making him tremble, unbelieving a holy knight could be mentally suppressed. Taking advantage, Lufan smirked, "Scared now? Envoy? How will you test me then?" Furious, Nguyen Truongfeng roared, activating his resistance skill, breaking free in a flash. Regaining control, he charged in rage, cursing the brat who dared mock him. Lufan calmly replied, "Just following your lesson," then opened twin teleportation gates midair. Seeing that, Nguyen Truongfeng grew wary, sensing more battle beasts coming. Alarm bells rang. Could there be even more than the black dragon? Indeed, Xiaofei and Jingthin emerged from the portals as Lufan declared full battle and gave attack orders. The arena quaked as three dragons roared, shaking the very sky. Nguyen Truongfeng gaped, muttering, "Three? Impossible." Lufan smiled, signaling with his hand, "Wrong, there's more." Instantly, Xiaofei chanted and summoned the Twin Dragon King, its might flooding the arena. Zhang Xingming gasped, asking the principal if had known the boy had 5 dragons all along. The principal stayed calm, eyes gleaming in awe. "Unexpected indeed. Lufan, you've surprised me." Lufan smirked, one hand in pocket, the other pointing coldly. "All right then. Envoy?" he asked sharply. "Now do you think him qualified for the national trial?" And then 5 dragons roared together, storming toward Nguyen Truongfeng like a hurricane. He screamed in shock. "Impossible. How can this be?" Terror flooded his mind. How could a kid drive him to this point? Desperate, Nguyen Truongfeng activated Holy Light Shield, enveloping himself in radiance. Xiao Yi led the assault, unleashing a destructive blast that swallowed the entire arena in dust. Zhang Xingming paled, stammering to the principal, "The envoy's done for. No way he survived that." But just then, arrogant laughter echoed from above. "Thanks to the shield, Nguyen Truongfeng survived, riding a bloodthirsty dragon, boasting, 8 years from now, dream on if you think you can kill me." Zhang Xingming was stunned, while the principal sighed. Who'd think such pride would end in retreat? Lufan chuckled, taunting, quick reflexes. Envoy, making Inju and Truongfeng spin back in fury, he roared. Think having more dragons lets you do whatever you want. Without them, you're trash. His holy light shield had only seconds left. He spurred his dragon forward, scoffing. A chick still just a chick. His sword blazed, unleashing the holy light desolation slash through the air. But the instant it struck, a green barrier shimmered, blocking all damage. Lufan sneered. Takes one more hit to break this, too bad your shield's almost gone. Seeing the tide turn, Inju and Truongfeng tried to flee, but Lufan grinned, running again. Not this time. He powered up the roar of the Azure Dragon King, thunderous energy erupting. Meanwhile, Inju and Truongfeng failed to notice Jing Thin blocking his path. With a light swing, a terrifying force slammed the bloodthirsty dragon into the ground. Inju and Truongfeng was dragged down with it, crashing hard amid flying debris. Watching him stagger up, Lufan smirked. You look pitiful. Envoy, he mocked again. Where's that lesson you taught me earlier? Then signaled the Azure Dragon King to strike. Panicking, Inju and Truongfeng raised his hands. Wait, dunt. But Lufan had already fired a lightning blast straight into his face. Lighting up the arena, the bloodthirsty dragon died instantly, while Inju and Truongfeng lay scorched and gravely injured. Lufan walked up calmly. My apologies. Envoy about your mount, he added. In the national trial, slaying your foe's mount is normal. Thanks for the training. Fearing tragedy, Zhang Xingming shouted. Enough. Envoy, just grant him qualification. Inju and Truongfeng roared madly. Silence. You'll decide when this ends. The principal gently stopped Zhang Xingming, whispering, don't worry, he can't last much longer. Inju and Truongfeng flared up one last time, eyes bloodshot, admitting in rage that if it were anyone else, Lufan would have been chosen long ago. Yet all that remained in him was hatred clouding reason. He screamed, charging forward. Lufan, you made me lose everything, you bunchop brat. He shrieked accusations. You made the Jin clan abandon me, my rank, my career, gone. Now you mock me and kill my mount. In frenzy, he roared. Today I'll destroy you no matter what. He swung wildly, but Lufan dodged each strike, his figure swift as wind. At the right moment, Lufan spun and kicked him, sending him flying dozens of meters. Standing tall, Lufan said coldly. Fighting a madman is pointless. If I'm unqualified, get up and keep fighting, he continued. But if your grudge is over Jin Zhou, it'll wait any time for your revenge. His tone dropped. Next time, though, I won't hold back. Inju and Truongfeng stared blankly. Strength fading, he collapsed unconscious on the spot. Zhang Xingming rushed to help, shouting, Envoy, hang on, it'll get you to the priest. The arena now held only Lufan and the white-robed principal, who said calmly, you hid well. Smiling, he added, even I didn't know you had 5 dragons. Did you go all out? Lufan answered, not even one, they only acted. No skills used. The principal nodded. Excellent. Seems choosing you was right, then tapped his staff to the ground. His figure faded into the air, leaving Lufan standing alone, a familiar warmth stirring in his chest. That night, at the northern border, cold winds swept across the camp. Du Jingnian read Yu and Truongfeng's report and laughed. The kid's good, truly long nation's pride. He chuckled, but this signature was written through tears. Then he called, Lieutenant. In here. Yes, Marquis of the Northern Frontier. Sir, he said gravely. Ready the Griffin. I'll go to Longdu Academy myself. The expedition's under attack, but this can't wait. Du Jingnian smirked. I'm not vanishing forever, let the Griffin keep its mission. He declared firmly. This trip, I'll meet Long Nation's representative and investigate the border disturbance. I'll be back in 2 days. After earning his qualification, Lufan immediately contacted H4 to plan a treasure hunt over 3,000 kilometers away. He sighed over the phone. That far? Guess another time. A4 insisted. I can hire a teleport mage, but it'll cost you. Just then, the system chimed, congratulations. A Divinigrade treasure map has been detected today. Lufan yelled into the phone. A4, hear that? I've got one. Then quickly added, wait, I need to ask about a spot near the far northern border. Before he finished, a massive fireball shot him from front at terrifying speed. It exploded, engulfing Villano, one in blazing flames. Amid the smoke, a black-robed figure chanted quietly, preparing to teleport away. Right after the blast, Lufan burst through the fire, soaring out on the radiant wings of the flying Dragon King. While Xiaofei and Xiaoyu rescued everyone, he said coldly, where do you think you're teleporting to? Then shouted, stop. His sword sliced off the hood, revealing a familiar face. Lufan froze. You're the instructor who stood with the principal that day. The explosion drew crowds of students, some called fire crews. Others panicked, asking what happened. Tantha pointed angrily. It's him. He stormed our house to silence us. The teacher glanced around and sneered. Since I'm exposed, there's only one option left. He activated Scarlet Flame Chain's fiery links wrapping tightly around Lufan. Instantly, he was bound in place, unable to move an inch. The teacher burned his life force to forge the blazing core. Planning to die together, Tanthu and Jian Ying tried cutting the chains but failed. Energy level spiked 23, 59, then 72 approaching detonation. His body swelled like a bomb. Lufan clenched his teeth and roared in despair. Xiaofei, activate Eternal Guard. Xiaoyi, Shield everyone, he shouted. The teacher laughed insanely. You can't escape, die with me. But at that instant, the white-robed principal's staff pierced his chest, killing him outright. The chains vanished. Lufan broke free and flew clear just before the massive explosion. The vice principal rushed in, commanding the fire squads, calming students, and starting an on-site probe. As Lufan landed, Hanka grabbed him, voice trembling. Xiao Fam, are you alright? You scared me half to death. He reassured her. I'm fine. As Tantho ran up, panting, that was insane. Do you know who he was? Zhang Xingming stared at the charred corpse, grim-faced. Unbelievable, it was someone from the academy, he said sternly. An honorary professor, a level 81 fire mage. For him to attempt assassination, unthinkable. Lufan frowned. Was he linked to Jiu and Truongfeng? Hanka snapped. Vice principal, you must investigate. We almost died. Facing their anger, Zhang Xingming raised a hand. Calm down. I promise we'll uncover the truth soon. The next morning in the principal's office, tension hung heavy. These assassinations once stop, he said bitterly. He hid too long without my notice. Shameful. The white-robed principal sighed. Even under my watch, a second's delay could have made the outcome irreversible. Opposite him, Du Jingnian sat calmly, irking him further. Are you even listening? He snapped. Du Jingnian smiled faintly, setting down his tea. I was just thinking maybe we should keep some wine here. Tea's getting dull. As the principal fell silent, Du Jingnian burst out laughing. Relax. I'm listening. It's been ages since we shared tea and I crossed half of Long Nation to get here. Aren't you curious why? The principal sighed, tone softening. Sorry, I keep rambling about Lufan. How's your northern mission done yet? Of course not, Du Jingnian replied. But from what you said, keeping Lufan here isn't safe. Since you're still investigating, let me share the load. The principal frowned. He grinned slyly. Just let the kid come north with me. He'll just be targeted if he stays. He continued. With me. His safe in your school avoids more mess. The principal nodded. Makes sense. But what's in it for you? A Marcus like you isn't here for students. Du Jingnian sipped his wine, smiling. I've watched that boy for a while. Has quick to grow and he has something I need for the northern investigation. What you call that thing? The principal nodded slightly. I see, but ensure his absolute safety. Du Jingnian pulled a bottle from the drawer, popped it open, and drank. Relax, it'll bring him back in one piece. The principal jolted. Hey, that was a gift. Ha! Perfect taste. Du Jingnian laughed, ignoring his helpless glare. Next morning, sunlight blazed over Longdu Academy's main gate. Jinzhou rushed up to hug her brother as he stepped from the car, beaming. You're here, so which is more important, me or your gear? Jin Qinghan smiled gently. Of course you, but the national trials in Taiji Nation, so I had to prep, then came straight here. Jinzhou looked up, voice hopeful. Then you'll avenge me, right? Jin Qinghan's eyes flashed coldly as he smirked. Yeah, whoever touched you will pay. Since Villa No, one was under repair, Lufan and Hanka moved into Villa No, two with Jian Ying. That night, Lufan called Haizi to discuss the divine treasure map just revealed by the system. Hearing part of it, Jian Ying asked, where are you going? Lufan, eyes fixed on the map, said, somewhere interesting, I need to check it out. But he added, not yet. He'll wait for the attack investigation results first. Jian Ying nodded, reminding softly, everyone's exhausted after last night. If you go, tell them. Yeah, I won't sneak off. Thanks for watching over them. Lufan said sincerely. Just then, the doorbell rang. Lufan stood up. He'll get it, probably the vice principal. He opened the door, asking right away, how did the investigation go? But he froze. The man outside was middle-aged, with a scar across his left eye and a faint grin. Results? Not quite sure yet. The man gestured behind him, where several guards lay unconscious. Don't misunderstand, I'm not a villain. They just got a bit too aggressive, so I defended myself. Seeing the vice principal's guards knocked out, Lufan instantly drew his weapon. Tense! Who are you? Another attacker. At that moment, Tantho came down the stairs, surprised. Uncle Du, what are you doing here? Noticing the fainted guards, she gasped. Heavens, what happened? Moments later, as things cleared up, Lufan bowed awkwardly. So you're the teacher Miss Tan mentioned? Tantho nodded. Yes, I've called him Uncle Du since childhood, but you went a bit hard this time. Du Jingnian laughed heartily. Good thing Xiaotho showed up, or the kid and I would have wrecked the place fighting. Lufan bowed sincerely. I'm sorry for mistaking you as an enemy earlier. I should thank you for helping with Inju and Truongfeng. Du Jingnian waved it off. No need. You're the one who beat him, I just cleaned up after. Tantho grinned. Funny those guards didn't recognize you. Who doesn't know the man who soloed a beast tied on a griffin? Lufan gaped. Amazed, you repelled a beast tied alone. I saw your name on the hero wall in Shanghai. Can't believe I'm meeting you in person. Du Jingnian laughed. Haha, old tales still funny when remembered. Setting his cup down, his sharp gaze met Lufan's. Every era has its heroes. Right now, it's you. Lufan, he grew serious, patting the boy's shoulder. I came for one reason, to take you north for training. The principals agreed. He continued, you'll level up for the national trial and avoid more assassination attempts. Tanthu interjected worriedly, but the far north's uncharted. As a national representative, what if something happens? Zhang Ying nodded in agreement. Du Jingnian reassured. I know, but that's where true tempering happens. Besides, his leaving will draw danger away from those around him. Lufan silently studied the divine map showing the northern border. Determination and unease mixing within him. Zhang Ying, sensing his thoughts, said softly, if you want to go, then go. Don't overthink it. She smiled. We've all advanced to second class. We can handle ourselves. You just focus on the trial. We've got things here. Tantha nodded. Right, go without worry. Hearing that, Lufan didn't hesitate anymore and agreed to follow Du Jingnian. Du Jingnian laughed heartily, slapping his shoulder. Good, knew I wasn't wrong about you. Xiao though, get some good wine. Well, send this kid off properly. Tantha pouted. Uncle, we can't drink that strong stuff. Zhening added shyly. And we're out of ingredients. Guess it's a simple meal tonight. Soon after, Lufan offered to go buy supplies and say goodbye to his senior before dinner. At that moment, Du Jing suddenly remembered, panicking, and told Xiao Thu to heal the guards, but she admitted she'd lost that ability. So Lufan called Xiao Fei to handle it. Leaving the villa, he went to the arena to bid farewell to his pretty senior before his perilous northern journey. Upon seeing him, she pinched his cheek playfully and smiled, teasing, silly boy. Then, turning serious, she told him that in the north had learned much and wouldn't have time to feel bored. Lufan smiled gently, replying he understood, though a trace of reluctance lingered. He bowed, saying he still had others to say goodbye to that evening, but as he turned, she suddenly hugged him from behind, her warmth freezing him in place. She whispered, you're leaving so soon. I didn't even prepare a gift. Then she softly tied a red bead bracelet around his wrist, saying it would protect him throughout his journey. Releasing him, she smiled brightly, reminding him to do his best up north and in the upcoming national trial. As they parted, she waved teasingly, bring me back an eternal ice crystal when you return. All right. On the way back, Lufan walked quietly, eyes clouded with unreadable thoughts. Nearing the gate, he suddenly stopped, voice low and cold, asking how long his stalker had been following. From behind a tree stepped Jin Chenghan, smiling slyly, saying it hadn't been easy to find Lufan. Lufan set his bag down, gripping his weapon, gaze sharp. Who are you and why follow me? Jin Chenghan calmly replied that though Lufan didn't know him, had heard much about the boy, he introduced himself as Jin Zhou's brother, claiming he only came to thank Lufan for helping his sister. Hearing that, Lufan smirked slightly, recognizing him as Taiji Nation's top newly promoted expert. Yet his tone cooled as he asked if Jin Zhou was nearby, then called her out coldly. A haughty female voice rang from the shadows, mocking that he was still as arrogant as ever. Jin Zhou emerged beside her brother, declaring she wanted to watch him teach the one who once humiliated her. Jin Chenghan smiled, saying things would end if Lufan simply let his sister slap him a few times. Lufan laughed disdainfully. The Jin family sure has a long, boring memory. Then he warned coldly that Jin Zhou hadn't told her brother how that same line ended last time. Jin Zhou snapped, yelling for her brother to strike, while Jin Chenghan sighed, raising his hand to teach the boy a lesson. A dark formation appeared in his palm, making Lufan's brow furrow in caution. The air thickened, an ominous aura spreading, signaling a deadly battle about to begin. As Jin Chenghan finished his chant, a massive, grotesque creature burst from the ground. It roared, spewing a stream of glowing green fluid straight toward Lufan. He reacted instantly, dodging back, eyes flicking, his meal bag dissolving under the corrosive spray. Feeling the attack's terrifying power, he knew only speed could keep him alive. Looking again, he was stunned as the monster warped, its body swelling, sprouting dozens of tentacles anchoring to the earth. Worse, Jin Chenghan's face surfaced on the creature's torso, commanding 3 abyssal walkers to seize Lufan, forcing him to ready his weapon. But suddenly, a giant shadow tore through the sky, pressure crashing down. It was the Frost Griffin King, a legendary beast whose wings blanketed the heavens. Jin Zhou and her brother shielded their faces from the gale, staring in terror at the rising dust storm. From the smoke, a deep, commanding voice boomed above Lufan. This isn't Jin clan territory. Then the figure landed, standing between Lufan and the Jin siblings. Jin Chenghan trembled, sweat pouring as a familiar name flashed in his mind upon hearing that voice. A thunderous shout followed. How insolent! And it was none other than the Northern Marquis, Du Jing. He blurred forward, spear gleaming, thrusting at the siblings as Jin Chenghan barely managed to shout a warning to his sister. But before he finished, Du Jing's spear pierced clean through his body, blood spraying wildly. Jin Zhou screamed in panic, her voice breaking as she cried for her brother. Du Jing lifted him effortlessly, eyes cold. You recognize me now? Jin Chenghan stammered his name, secretly activating the formation in his palm. Seeing that move, Du Jing said calmly, pointless, your summons can't save you. Nothing escapes a griffin's claws. Jin Chenghan glanced at his 3 abyssal walkers pinned by the griffin, powerless, then finally gave up. The sight left Jin Zhou frozen, eyes wet with tears, collapsing to the ground and sobbing her brother's name. Jin Chenghan coughed blood, clutching the spear shaft, defiance still burning in his gaze toward Du Jing. With a strained voice, he confirmed his foe's identity as the Northern Marquis before going limp. Life fading away, his body fell lifeless, Jin Zhu's anguished scream echoing across the battlefield. Behind them, Lu Fam stood stunned, unable to believe his senior had killed Jin Qinghan outright. Du Jing calmly explained that abyssal summoners shared a symbiotic link. If their beasts lived, they could reincarnate through them. Hearing that, Lu Fam froze, noticing Jin Qinghan's body had vanished, leaving only a hollow skin like a shed serpent. The thought struck him he wasn't dead, still alive somewhere. Just then, Du Jing swept his spear, roaring for the monsters to vanish or be slain along with their master. Jin Zhou screamed in panic, glancing at the creatures with desperate hope. Brother. A moment later, Jin Qinghan's head emerged grotesquely from one of the abyssal walkers, groaning in pain. The system displayed abyssal symbiosis. If summoned beasts survive, the summoner resurrects. LV.60, hidden class Ultra Abyss Summoner, 12H cooldown. Crawling free of the beasts, Jin Qinghan gasped and warned that Du Jing couldn't kill him. He was Taiji Nation's representative, and any attack would trigger judgment from 23 nations. Lu Fam stared in shock, watching him resurrect through his own summon. Du Jing stepped forward coldly, stating he knew that law, but Lu Fam, as Long Nation's representative, had full right to act. His gaze sharpened as he added he wasn't interested in killing, and since the national trial would be held in Taiji Nation, had spare him this time. Jin Qinghan trembled, nodding quickly, not daring to speak further. Du Jing snorted, warning he despised the Jin clan and never wanted to see them again. With that, he hurled his spear, annihilating the three abyssal walkers, their blood and smoke fading with a chilling finality. Jin Qinghan turned pale, grabbing his sister's hand, snapping, "Jin Zhou, let's go." The siblings staggered away, broken and furious, still glaring back with hatred. Before vanishing from sight, he spat a venomous threat. "In Taiji Nation, no one will protect you." Lu Fam only smirked, replying to Du Jing that Jin Qinghan was both pitiful and ridiculous. Du Jing chuckled. Taiji folk are all like that, can't shut up even after dying, then urged him home to ease everyone's worries. As they walked, he suddenly asked, "Where's the food?" Lu Fam froze, sighed, realizing it had all been melted by the summon's acid. That night's farewell feast turned warm and lively, the tension melting into laughter as Dao Xiaomang got drunk, clinking glasses with Du Jing. Amid laughter and tears, Ka hugged Lu Fam tightly, choking out a warning to stay safe, while Tan the blushed, resting on his shoulder, softly telling him to take care. Lu Fam knew well he was the hunted target, and no one else could be dragged in. In 1 month, the northern secrets would finally be revealed. The next day, on a giant griffin's back, Lu Fam and Du Tin flew through icy winds into the frozen north. Sitting up front, Du Ten told him to endure the cold, and soon they reached the level 60 unexplored zone leading to the divine map. While pondering, Lu Fam saw a blazing red ring on the horizon like a blood moon, and Du Tin calmly said that's their destination. Hours later at the northern border camp, Du Ten proudly introduced his elite Griffin Corps, masters of aerial combat who had explored 114 routes. He stopped before a huge wall map, pointing out that the red ring Lu Fam saw was the latest reconnaissance result. Du Tin confirmed no one had ever approached it, and since its nature was unknown, they simply called it that thing. Then he laughed, patting Lu Fam's shoulder, saying with a talented kid like him, breakthroughs were bound to come. Lu Fam smiled at the map, realizing it was both a leveling chance and a gateway to the divine treasure he sought. He placed his hand on the map, eyes tracing 2 zones near the center. Pointing at them, he asked if he could join routes 77 and 78, the closest paths to the treasure. Du Tin warned him not to rush. Route 78 swarmed with beasts, and if a level 32 like him died, had faced his principal's wrath, but Lu Fam stood firm, saying he came to grow, not hide. Seeing that resolve, Du Tin chuckled, saying the boy was just like his younger self, drawn to danger. He then pulled out a radiant golden bow, its gleam lighting up the room. Handing it to Lu Fam, he told him to take it. The boy accepted in awe, asking what kind of weapon it was. As he touched it, the system flashed Bright Shot Guide, a legendary bow adding hundreds of stats, no level cap, charging 3 seconds to fire a phantom arrow dealing 5 damage. Lu Fam was stunned. He tried returning it, saying it was too valuable, but Du Tin waved it off, laughing, "Keep it, you'll need it for Route 78. Lu Fam thanked him, equipped the bow. Eyes gleaming, Du Tin teased him for talking too much and jokingly regretted not knowing archery himself. Just then, a cloaked soldier rushed in, shouting an urgent report for the commander. Du Tin took the cloak, handed to Lu Fam, telling him to suit up and follow if he still wanted Route 78 after this. He could join tomorrow. Without hesitation, Lu Fam zipped the cloak, eyes blazing. "Let's go, senior, I can't wait." Moments later, above the Arctic sky, Du Tin rode his griffin, glancing at Lu Fam flying beside him with fiery soul wings. He laughed, asking why not ride his dragon. Lu Fam said it wasn't leveled yet but soon would be, so Du Tin promised him a Griffin Corpse spot once he could. Lu Fam was about to reply when a bone-chilling screech echoed from afar. Looking back, he saw 3 level 60 demon owls charging, the system flashing toxic feathers, high damage, risk of poison and sound-based charm. The monsters shrieked and dubbed down. Lu Fam shouted a warning, but Du Tin just sipped his wine calmly midair, raising a brow with a half-smile. He asked, "Who said I needed to summon my spear core?" His voice turned teasing. "You're the one who should be worried here, not me." He added that if Lufan reacted that slowly on Route 78, he'd already be dead. Then he swung his spear, impaling a demonol and slamming it into another. Both exploded instantly. Battle over. Lufan froze, realizing every Griffin Corps member was above level 70. Dutine had been joking, but surely disappointed. He thought to himself, this wasn't the academy anymore. He'd have to focus if he wanted to keep up. While he was thinking, Dutine's voice rang out sharply. "We've arrived." Lufan snapped to attention and looked down. A massive crimson sphere glowed amid the white snowfield, making him gasp. "That's the thing." Dutine nodded. It was indeed a colossal life form, its true nature still unknown. Lufan frowned at its shape. Half dragon head, half giant eye. Dutine said even the Griffin King once feared to approach it. Silently, Lufan activated a scan system. Result unknown, which only deepened his unease. Dutine sighed that humans knew too little of this world. Most lands remained unexplored, and the thing had changed since its discovery. He recounted that during their first approach, while clearing demonols near a mining zone, the massive entity suddenly opened its eye, terrifying the troops into retreat. A year had passed since, and though experts failed to explain it, Dutine swore it was alive. If it ever awoke, the world would know chaos. Suddenly, Lufan spotted distant riders approaching and alerted Dutine, but as they neared, they turned out to be feral beasts. Dutine gripped a spear sadly, murmuring, "Griffin Corps members? Yes, once, but not anymore." The system displayed segmented corpses level 65, defensive counterattack type, grows stronger when hit, nearly indestructible. One lunged at him. Lufan parried with his sword. Horrified, could these be fallen Griffin soldiers? He asked Dutine, but the man bowed his head in silence. Answer enough. After a moment, Dutine muttered, "I can't let them go on like this, but I don't wish to kill them either." He then spurred the Griffin King upward, raising his spear to cast frozen net. A giant web of ice spread out, trapping the segmented corpses, freezing them still amid swirling frost. The sight confirmed Lufan's fears. Those monsters were once Dutine's own men. Softly, he asked, "Senior, they were your subordinates, weren't they?" Dutine only turned away, silently guiding his griffin from the battlefield. Lufan swallowed his questions and followed, heart heavy with that tragic truth. Beneath them, the frozen segmented corpses weakly howled through the drifting snow. One of the frozen corpses stood still, watching the two fade behind the mountains before slowly turning away. The next morning, in his office, Dutine sipped wine and eyed Lufan, asking, "Are you sure about your decision?" Lufan nodded firmly. "Whether it's the segmented corpses or that giant thing, I still want to go to the front." Hearing that, Dutine burst into hearty laughter, slapping the table and ordering his deputy to summon the squad. Soon the deputy arrived with 3 people, announcing that Squad 78 was fully assembled. The white-haired man in front saluted, introducing himself. Lufan, level 76, Divine Punishment Knight, leader of Squad 78. Next came a blonde man who scratched his head and grinned. "Didn't expect Lord Zenbei to call us up." Lu Truongkong, level 70, Holy Shield Knight, Squad 78 member. Beside them, calm brown-haired girl stayed silent. Shen They, level 70, Auspice Knight, rank 3, also of the team.